go away with you. Forever in my mind, only you. The pieces in my life run away with you. You're my first love. You're my first love. You're my first love. You're my first
Good evening all and welcome to the Nurburgring for round 7 of the 2013 Thrustmaster Formula Sim Racing World Championship with myself, Nick Rowland, and alongside me once again Mr. Scott Woodwiss.
Oh, good afternoon, Nick. Good afternoon, everybody. Pleasure to be back in the World Championship commentary box again after a 3-week break. And what a circuit to come to, the fantastic Nurburgring. We had a brilliant, fairly good Grand Prix earlier on today in real world, and now it's the FSR boys' turn to strut their stuff in the World Championship, and hopefully it will get an equally entertaining race, if not more.
Absolutely, we've just come to the end, I believe, of qualifying 1 as well. We're a little bit late, just a few technical issues, but we're here and we're ready to go. The fastest man in qualifying 1, though, by quite a margin as well, is Samuel Lebert for Twister Racing. A 128.8 compared to Woodwiss, a 129.2. So a near 4/10 margin there, Scott. That's pretty impressive.
It is. I mean, the one thing which I think we need to point out, I wanted to talk about early on, because I wanted to try and talk about what happened in Silverstone a little bit in a while. But it's proving this season that Woodwiss isn't invincible. There are drivers out there such as Lebert and Rowland, and we saw even last week with Martin Gosby, Ivar Calames in some cases when his day comes through, that they can match, and in some cases on some laps go faster than Woodwiss. So maybe Bono's just he's fulfilling the expectations. He's won 3 world championships on the trot. He's now going on for a 4th one this season, but he's coming under a lot more pressure and a lot more competition. This season's a lot more competitive than it has been in the recent years. There's a lot more drivers, a lot more teams that are able to score podiums, score consistent points finishes, and I think we've been in for a real treat. We had a really great first 6 races. We're coming up now to this race, which will then take us into the long summer break. So hopefully we can go into the summer break with a crack of a race today. And we might even see possibly a 5th different winner today, because if that's the Bears' single lap pace, who knows what his race pace is going to be like. So it's going to be intriguing to see how that plays out. Of course, we've had a few changes. I'm not sure if you're just about to go on to that, Nick, but we've got 3 key drivers that we're missing today. We're most importantly missing Morgan Morand. We're also missing Philip Pushka and Jerne Simoncic. They're all not present today. So Ghostspeed have had to put drivers into their main cars and Ash Racing cars for this race. I do believe it's Ville Lapala and Fran Schneider who are in the Ghostspeed cars, and then it escapes me, unfortunately. I might actually have it on my screen in a moment as to who is in the Ash Racing cars. But I
think it's Mark Alberts.
Yes, I know Mark Alberts is one of them. Trying to think who the other one is, if at all. I'm not 100%, but
Thomas Mundy.
That's it, Thomas Mundy. That's the one. I knew I was missing somebody. So yeah, that's going to be quite intriguing to see how that plays out with the lack of Morgan Morand. It's kind of a reverse of China, really, isn't it? Where when Woodwiss wasn't available, Morgan Morand took advantage and ran away with the victory. Now we come to the Nurburgring, no Morgan Moran. So is it going to be role reversal, and are we going to see a carbon copy of what we saw in China?
Well, arguably, I guess it evens it up as well with Bono missing a race, so they will have competed in the same amount of races also. Just give you a full rundown while the 10th place man heads out on track. It's Samuel Abel that's progressed, along with Bono Huis, Edward Malachy, Ivar Kalmies, Dion Kostadinov, return to form for Dion, which is good to see, Patrick DeWitt, Jack Keithley, Rob Van Starkenberg, Blair Disley, great run for him, and Gergo Bowley is in 10th.
Absolutely, I know that. I know obviously Nick has a soft spot for Gergo Bowley, who's actually not going to be going out for this one. So it looks like he's planning to start, possibly on a harder compound tyre. But Blair Disley heading out. He's seems to have quite some good fortune. He had a really good race last time out. He started at the back of the grid at Silverstone and finished 7th. Which is a great performance by Blair Disley there also. And also great stuff for also his teammate at that race, Marcel van der Linden, who's finished 5th. So that's a great result all round for Biocross Positive. Carlos Martin is back in the car again, because he's now this time in place of van der Linden and not Blair Disley, who is returning here, the Australian. I know for Jessica Spin PSR they've put a couple of different drivers in. We've still got Zuhats Cabo, but because Moises Rondon, I think, is serving a penalty for having too many penalty points, I believe, then they've actually put Alex Diaz back into the car. So that's his first appearance back in the World Championship since his debut back in Bahrain. So, and that unfortunately ended when he spun a few laps from the finish and stalled his car. So hopefully we won't have a repeat of that. But moving into this qualifying session, then we're here at the Nurburgring, of course, as Disley puts the tail out, exiting the Dunlop curve, up to the newly named Michael Schumacher S. And the Nurburgring Grand Prix circuit, very challenging, lots of undulations, lots of elevation changes here, so gearing's going to be quite key to find the balance between, do you go for short gears for the climb up the hill, or when you start to go downhill again, do you want the longer gears, which helps you with the speed? So they have to have that balance here. Engine wear's a little bit low, as is kind of tyre wear's medium here as well. Brake wear's kind of average as well. So they're going to be able to. This is a circuit which will allow the drivers just to push that little bit more than they usually would. But we're going to see how this turns out here. So I'll hand over to you, Nick, to run us through our first run in the top 10 shootout.
Yeah, well, as you've already said there, it was the first run there for Gergo Baldi. He's decided to sit out. So it's Blair Disley. I think it's the first one he's actually dived into the top 10. And this is going to be great for PSR also as we go into turn 1 there. Hooks a very, very tight line as he comes up towards the infield section. It's a very technical section through here, through 2 and 3. And this 3 into 4 here, you've really got to get the line right. Looks he's got the line just about right on exit. Looks like I'm suffering a little bit of lag, unfortunately, just due to the connection, I think, with Blair being down in Australia. But nevertheless, we should be able to survive that. So we come into this into the middle sector now, into turns 5 and 6. And it's a long run down towards the Dunlop hairpin, which is turn number 7. It kind of jinks to the left-hand side before you sweep it into the hairpin and then straighten up for the best possible exit. He uses second gear through here. Builds from second gear going through the Schumacher S. He should be flat. He is flat in 6th gear all the way through there. Good run there for Blair Disley. Come up towards turn 10. Now this is one of the most crucial corners on the track. You really do need to get that corner right. And there's also one at turn 11. Good exit there in 3rd gear there for Blair Disley as well. 10 and 11 are particularly crucial due to the nature of the corner and how much time can be lost, but also can be gained. Now up to the NGK chicane. Very, very tricky chicane through there. 2nd gear. Powers out of the chicane, coming up to the final corner. It's quite a long opening hairpin, this corner. Powers for the line now from being in 2nd gear, and it is a 1:31.827 there.
It's not a bad lap time, I guess. That's the benchmark which everyone else will be aiming for. So we're going to look at our next man on track, which is the first of the GT makers, Rob Van Starkenberg, back in the World Championship after he subbed for. I can't remember who it was he subbed for, but it was John Eric Saxon. That's it, when he made his retirement. And a nice run, small lock-up into there, but not as much as Disley had. You saw some tyre marks there from the inside, and they head to this Mercedes arena, very kind of almost falls back on itself, this section. So as he runs through 3. Some 60 miles an hour through there, and he just short shifts a little bit, or maybe not on the exit. You saw the run off there as well towards the end of the first sector. Remember, this puts him into commence Disley. He's up, look at that, by 4 tenths. So maybe that wasn't as impressive as it could have been, but heading down towards the Dunlop curve, exiting the forward curve there, and up towards this long left hand. You've got to be really careful you don't outbrake yourself here. Let's see how this Verstappen gets on. Small lock up on the inside side, but he manages to hold it beautifully and just clips the curve on the outside. Up towards the Michael Schumacher S. And is he flat through here? Does he shift up at all? Shifts up just on the exit. a lot more speed in fact than Dizzy. 294 clicks. So, and look at using all the curb on the exit of that left-hander. That corner there was RTL curve and then Warsteiner curve. Through the Advan kink and up towards NGK chicane. Now, how's he going to brake here then? Very late at the 100 metre board. Flicks left, then right over the NGK chicane up towards Coca-Cola curve. Final corner. Seems to take a similar line. There's a huge lock-up for Disney again through that first corner, but into the pit straight he comes. Where's this time going to put him? 131.1, almost 7/10 up on Disney's time. So I think possibly Disney was running a little bit more wing. That's one of the reasons why he was lacking on the straights. That's possibly what's allowed Van Starkenberg to get an advantage there and take the fastest time of the session by such a margin.
Absolutely, I think Rob Van Starkenberg as well will want to make up from yesterday, obviously leading the race and getting disconnected from the race, which was a horrible shame for him. He was in a great battle with Edward Maliki. But now we turn our attention to the other GT Mega Drive. This is Jack Keithley. He's had a good run of form just lately, as he's just coming through Sector 1 out of Turn 4, heading down the straight towards Turn number 5. The Sector 1 beam splits in between. Nearly 10th up on Van Starkenberg in Sector 1, so it's been a good run there for Jack. Coming through Turn 6, and this kink section towards Turn number 7, where you get to see all the flags, and it's quite a vantage point down here for spectators. Dives in, this is second gear again. Yeah, he holds second gear, holds a very, very tight apex there and runs it out wide. Another driver that runs out wide. Again, this will be pinned flat all the way through the Schumacher S. Takes more curve on the inside, not as much on the exit, interestingly, and was slightly late at the 7th gear. Brakes for turn 10. Very, very nice line through there. Not too much on the exit, making sure not to cut. 3rd gear, coming through turn 11, crosses the beam again. He's lost a bit of time, but he's still 700th up on Van Starkenberg. Van Starkenberg had a better middle sector there. Now towards the NGK chicane. Dives in, second gear again. Lock up on the inside, but carry the speed and momentum. That was good from Jack. Heads to the final corner, breaks down, second gear. Flicks it in. Nice tight apex there for Jack as he heads towards the line now. It is a 131 at 0 and nearly 10th faster than Van Starkenberg. Great lap from Jack Keithley there.
So the GT makers are looking pretty evenly matched then, and Keithley has the slight advantage. Good to see him back on form because he's had a couple of tough races prior to Silverstone, but he managed to get back on form with a good 3rd place, and that was second place in fact after the Bear was disqualified. We'll probably talk about that in a second. But this man, Patrick DeWitt, is up next. Now he managed to redeem himself slightly. Well, he got a penalty for some battles he had with Yannick Lapshan in Silverstone, so he hasn't really shook off the naughty boy image so far yet this season. And a slightly wider run towards the first corner into the Mercedes arena, but carries the speed nicely, holding it in second gear. Had to shift down right before he turned in there. He wasn't comfortable holding it in third. A huge lock up into turn 3. That really is not going to help the tyre wear, especially on the front on this hot lap. But nicely controlled on the exit down towards turn 5, and he's up by almost a 10th. That's brilliant stuff. So he heads into turn 5 then, and into forward curve. Another lock up, and lets the car run nicely. A small slip of oversteer on the exit. He lays a small line of black rubber, curving down towards the Dunlop curve, and he takes a tighter line. Didn't let the car run wide. That's forced him to run a little deep in the middle of the corner. That might have compromised it, but not so much curve on the exit towards the Michael Schumacher S, heading through it. 270 odd clicks. 7th gear just before the exit, so he feels confident. 297 clicks. He really was giving it some through there. Oh, that's quite a lot of curve on the exit of RTL through Warsteiner. And not so, yes, it's more curve as well, and that's put up by half a second. Look at this. Patrick DeWitt is absolutely bombing along. This is incredible lap from the Dutchman here. How much more time can he find? Left and then right. This Netrex car looking absolutely hooked up. Into the final corner, no hint of a lock up at all. Perfect run, slight bit of oversteer, but towards the line. How much faster is this going to be? It is a whopping almost a second. That was an incredible time from Patrick DeWitt. Where on earth did he find all that time? That is just absolutely mind-blowing.
Well, also we have to take into consideration as well as there could be a tyre differentiator here with DeWitt maybe on the softer compound tyre. But it's the turn of his teammate now, Dion Kostadinov, who's putting himself back inside the top 10. He's missed out the last couple of times, but he's back inside around the Nurburgring, and he's looking to try and threaten Patrick DeWitt's time and also both GT Omegas as he comes through turns 3 and 4. Exit of 4 was crucial. Got to get on the power nice and early. He used 3rd gear through there as he builds to speed up towards the first sector. And he's 100th up on Patrick DeWitt, in fact. So great first sector there for Dean Kostadinov. Possibly indicating also that he's gone for a soft tyre run as he now heads exit 6 and down towards turn 7. The Dunlop hairpin. Again, he dives in very, very late. So a lot of these drivers taking different lines through here. And he runs out wide. That's a bit more like what Jack Keithley did. Now he's going to be flat through the Schumacher S again. He absolutely is. And he comes up towards turn number 10. And he brakes very, very late. Holds third gear as well. Runs a bit wide. But it's good enough because he carried all the speed. Lock up on the entry to 11. How good's that? It's 500ths up. He's half a tenth up on Patrick DeWitt. DeWitt, we've already seen, had a very strong final sector. He comes up towards NGK now. Heavy braking once again. Second gear. He's gone too deep into the NGK there. He missed the first part of the apex. Got the second. But I don't think he got the exit speed. And I think that's probably compromised his time. Coming out of the final corner now. Driving for the line. It is a 1:30.2. Yes, he lost 2/10 in the final sector there for starting off.
So, excellent stuff from the two Netrex cars. Now, we've got championship leader. Yes, you are hearing that right. Championship leader, Ivar Calamaze. It's not Bono Vlies, because unfortunately his bad fortunes where he disconnected. A very rare retirement for Bono Vlies. Has seen Ivar Calamaze in the midst of that, unfortunately, take the victory in Silverstone. And he's now taken the championship lead by 7 points. Now, the scenario we can put here is that if Calamaze finishes second behind Bono Vlies today, if it turns out that way as a precision 1-2, Vlies would retake the championship lead because the difference between first and second is 7 points in the championship, and also for a win it's 25 for a win and 80 for second, as Calamaze has done a fantastic first sector to go a tenth faster than DeWitt, just over a tenth in fact. So Calamaze is absolutely on it right now, but it would mean of course that Bono Vlies would retake the lead because he's had more victory. That's Vlies' 3 to Calamaze's 1 as he runs in again. He takes that tighter line on the entry and lets the car run out wide on the exit and to the middle of the corner. So interesting run there so far from Calamaze, and sprinting through Michael Schumacher S. How much speed can he find towards RTL? 295 k's before he brakes for turn 10. Using all the curb on the exit, now switches through Vastine. A great direction change these FSR cars have. He's up by 3/10. What a super second sector this is for Ivar Calamaze. So these soft tyre runners definitely feel as though they've got the advantage so far, obviously in terms of time and feeling comfortable on them, but Calamaze flicks it left and right through the NGK chicane. And a clean run, wasn't as deep as Kostadinov, so he might even find more time. And a nice clean run so far through the final corner. So, looks like it is going to be provisional pole for Calamaze. How much by? He lost a bit of time in the final sector then, so that's just under a quarter of a second. So great stuff by Calamaze. Track's getting faster and faster, so at the moment it's great stuff for him. But we've now got the next one coming from the track, which I believe is the first of the Twister cars.
It is, it's Edward Malachy. He's about to start stuff after a great race yesterday in World Series. He now has been promoted up into the Twister and it will do World Championship today. He's just come around the final corner now, underneath the Thrustmaster sign where the start-finish line is, as he sprints down towards turn number 1. He touches 295 kph. Interesting line there. He came very, very tight on the entry to turn 1 there, as he uses second gear for the exit. And he up to 4th, down to 2nd again for turns 3 and 4 here. Oh, a little bit deeper probably on the apex than he would have ideally liked, but it was a good exit, so this might work out for him as he comes up to the end of sector 1. And it has indeed. That's the 10th up on Ivar Calamaze there. What a great first sector that was. So that slight mistake actually created a better exit for him. Going through 6 and now down towards turn number 7. And he will be in 7th gear again. He takes a wide line, swings it in at the apex, holds the apex, runs it out wide, 2nd gear, and he will now build the speed through the Schumacher S. He uses 6th gear. He took a lot of outside curb on the entry there, which is a little bit unusual. May have cost him a couple of kph there. Heavy brake into turn 10. Runs wider than most others have done, but gets it sorted out on the exit. Through 11 again, a little bit wider. And he's lost a little bit, but he's still a 10th up on Ivar Calamaze. He lost about 500ths going through that.
So he's gained it.
No, he was 0.184 up. He's 0.134 down now.
Oh, okay, my bad.
And he comes up to the final corner, 2nd gear. And he will power out the final corner, coming for the line, and it is a 1:29.7, and it is good enough for pole position. 700ths quicker than Ivar Calamaze.
Well, it was my mistake. I thought it's the 0.124, so I thought he'd actually run a 100th quicker, so that was my bad on that one. So great stuff from Malorqui. Now then, here comes Bono Vlies, and he's going to want to try and redeem himself after what was a rather shock retirement as we all took. It was something we weren't expecting. And first time he has retired from a race since he disconnected from the formation lap at Suzuka. So whether you can really count that because the race hadn't started then, but still a decent run so far through turn 3. Hugs the inside line and getting the power nice and early. And uses a lot more of the exit tarmac than other drivers had, but has that helped him out? It has, and look at that, it's even quicker than Malorqui's time. This is great stuff. So Boniface is up by almost a tenth and a half. And he's feeling he wants to get himself back on form. He hasn't won a race now for, well, he's hit results-wise, after the race at least, since he's all the way back in Monaco. So he really wants to try and get himself his 4th win of the season under his belt today. And a steady run through the head, through Dunlop curve, through Michael Schumacher S. This will give us an indication of how much speed is he carrying towards RTL. 298 Ks. Throws it into RTL, uses all the curb on the exit into Barstein. A nice clean and tidy run. We downshifted twice, I think, with that. I heard him down to 3rd through there, and look at that, he's up by almost 3 tenths, so another tenth and a half down in that second sector. Just have to hook up this last one down towards the NGK chicane, wide entry, and that's spots the apex as perfectly as you want, and up towards the final corner, swings it in, hugs the inside line again, gets the powder again nice and early, and lets the car sprint to the line. How much is he up by at the end? Oh, look at that, almost half a second. What a final sector from Bono Weiss. Excellent stuff.
What an incredible lap that was from Bono Weiss there. 129.213, but it's the man now next who was the fastest in qualifying 1, Samuel Lebert. He will be the next man to set a time, and can he gun for pole position as he comes down towards turn 1. Heavy on the brakes into turn 1. He takes that wider line rather than the narrow line than his teammate Maliki did. He's taken a wide line on entry. He's taking quite a lot of curb there on the inside of turn 2. Into 3 and 4, he takes that very tight entry into turn 3. Exit of 4. Ooh, he had to really feather out the throttle on exit. He was running a little bit wider than we would have liked. He's just 100th down on Bono Weiss going through sector 1 there, so it hasn't damaged him too much, but it could have been more. Exit of 6 was a slight bit of oversteer coming down towards turn 7 now. He's in 6th gear, so he doesn't get up into 7th. Uses 2nd gear. Holds 2nd gear all the way through there, runs out wide. Good exit there, that was a very good exit from Lebert. Up to 6th gear coming through the Schumacher S again. Will he be up to 7th gear by the time of braking for... Yes, he is, he's up to 7th gear for turn 10. A little bit of a narrower line, doesn't run as wide as what many other drivers have done. 3rd gear, and 200s up on Bono Weiss. That was a magnificent middle sector, but we've already seen just how good Weiss's final sector was. Coming to NGK now, 2nd gear. Wow, he carried a lot of speed on entry there. He locked up, but he carried so much speed and momentum into the final corner. 2nd gear. Is this going to be pole position for Samuel Lebert? Drives to the line now, and it is... No, it's not. It's 2nd. 700ths off. He lost time in the final sector. Bono Weiss nailed the final sector in his pole position.
I honestly thought Lebert had nailed that, but also that just shows just how magnificent that final sector was from Bono Weiss. He really carried a lot of speed. I thought that Lebert carried more speed into the final chicane and the hairpin, final corner, the Coca corner, more than Bono did, but of course that wasn't to be the case. So great stuff from Bono Weiss, returning back to pole position once again. And but looks as though Twister Racing are going to give him a run for his money this afternoon, because we've got Lebert and Malorque right behind as well, and Calamay sandwiching them. So it's a Twister and Precision and Twister front 2-row lockouts. And there's almost 2x2, because look at that. We've got Netrex on row 3, GT Omega on row 4, and then we'll have Desley and Baldi on row 5. So it's going to be pretty intriguing to see how these teams are going to work together. I think those top 4 teams are probably going to be out there around dominating at least the top 8. And then we'll probably see some guys around just at the end of the bottom of the top 10, just around a few places downwards, maybe scrapping for the final couple of points. So it's going to be quite... It is going to be a rather intriguing session to see exactly who has got the pace to try and take the victories. But it's going to be, I think, possibly going to be Weiss versus Lebert today, because there wasn't too much difference in their laps there. Of course, it was about a tenth of a second, well, almost there or thereabouts, but still, we'll have to wait and see. I think Lebert's going to be Weiss's main competition this afternoon.
Yep, it looks like that is going to be the case, but I'll just come on to something a lot of people have been asking me throughout the last couple of days, and also especially from yesterday, the situation with Martin Gosby. And I'm sure Scott will fill in and help me out on this one as well, because it's a little bit technical.
Yes.
Essentially, what happened with Silverstone is Lebert Lebert was disqualified due to a technical infringement, but with that disqualification, it promoted Gosby up into the top 10 in the standings of World Championship. That automatically qualifies you to that you must do World Championship and you can no longer do World Series. So that's the reason that he did not do World Series yesterday. Obviously, he will not do World Championship today because he wants to carry on with World Series. So what he's hoping is that drivers will actually push him back out of the top 10 and he will drop down the standings, come outside the top 10 in World Championship, allowing him to race once again for World Series. So this weekend, Martin Gosby was available, he was able to drive, but due to the regulation, he was not been able to do either race now, which is a little bit unfortunate, really, Scott.
It is, and I was actually reading the World Championship preview just before we came on, and it was quite intriguing the argument they made about the choice he made, because of course he was in a perfect position to win his home Grand Prix. Because obviously Boniface had retired due to a disconnection. He was way out in front. He had the pace to match and go faster than Bonner, because he was catching him at some points when he was behind him. And then he decided to make the decision that he felt the World Series was more valuable than the World Championship. And there was a very good point made in that preview, where when is that opportunity going to come back again? That's like a once in a career opportunity for Martin Gosby. When is that ever going to happen again? When Morgan Moran and Bono Huys happen to retire in a race, and Martin Gosby finds himself in that position again? That's a very, I'd have to say, it's a very rare occasion, because Bono Huys doesn't really retire from races, and Morgan Moran, if he does, it's mainly due to bad luck. So a lot of people did say, why didn't he just go for the World Championship victory? And even because the World Championship victory in some cases means more, I guess, than a World Series victory, because it's the World Championship, it's the top line. Gosby has that pace to run at the front. He can match the front runners. He is a quick enough driver, and I think that the fact he joined Precision at the beginning of this season has helped to underline that his development through being part of the team really has strengthened his position as a driver in the FSR World Championship, and also indeed in the World Series. We've seen some great drives from him, especially I can point out Canada was a great drive for him in World Series. Blew away the opposition that day. So it's interesting. I understand that logic why he wants to, as you explained it, is why he wants to drop back into World Series, because he feels that the World Series victory would be worth a little bit more. It's a World Series Championship victory, but you have to. Again, the question comes in is that when is that? As I've said, when is that opportunity going to come back again? Of course, I've no denying that he probably will win a World Championship one day, and I think it'll probably be more likely he'll do it on outright pace rather than I'm not sure. It'll either be on outright pace or due to some kind of luck. But
I believe so that as well. I guess the only counter argument would be the fact that he's done it once, he could do it again.
That's true.
Right. Okay. While we're in the warm-up session, the drivers are out on track, but we will just have a video from our sponsors, and you will rejoin us shortly. Okay, welcome back to live coverage of round 7 of the Formula Sim Racing World Championship. We're just in the warm-up at the moment, and it's Woodwiss that's leading the way with a 1:34.697. Quite a healthy lead over his teammate Ivar Calames, who's done a 35.2, so half-second advantage there. Lebert also, he's done a 35.2, so nearly a 6/10 advantage over Lebert. Scott, we're looking forward to what could be a very interesting race, especially with the triple hit, if you like, that Ghost Speed have suffered.
That is true. I think tyre strategy, I believe from what I've heard from one or two people, it's probably going to be looking at most people doing a two-stop. I think obviously the guys on the softs, I'm not sure how long they're exactly going to last. They probably expect, if you're going to split this into equal quarters, maybe that we might see that stops around the 15 lap mark, maybe give or take maybe two or three laps, depending on how people use them. 3 stoppers, of course, I think will also be stopping roughly about every 15 laps. 2 stoppers, probably, it depends. I mean, obviously, we're probably going to see stints of about 22 odd laps, I'd say, on the hard tyres, depending on how long they can use them, if you're doing about a 15 odd lap stint on the softs. With the disappearance of Morgan Morand for this race, and of course with no Pushka and Simičić, I mean, they are arguably 3 of the strongest, 3 of maybe 5 of the strongest drivers out there, arguably. If not, they're very, very quick at least. Of course, Morand is one of the fastest in there. Obviously, Pushka is starting to prove himself as well, as is Simičić. Those two really coming on form since they've joined the Ghost Speed Collective. So, I think that, again, as we were talking about, I think that Woodwiss has a great chance to do exactly what Morand did in China, and that is just have a great chance to really not only get himself almost like a free win, but to reclaim his championship lead, of course. Twister are going to push them hard today, especially Lebert. I think Lebert's race pace is average on par with Calames at the moment, so those two may, if Woodwiss does run away with it, I think Lebert will at least be in contention for second or third, so at least a podium. In terms of how the Ghost Speed drivers who are actually running today are going to get on, I mean, looking at race pace, Lapala's only 8th. We didn't see a Ghost Speed in the top 10 in qualifying, neither did we see any Ash racing cars, so looking at the race pace so far, the 2 top guys for that day are going to be Ville Lapala for Ghost Speed and Mark Alberts for Ash Racing. Now, Alberts is pretty quick. He's proved himself in World Trophy, as has Franz Schneider. He's taken a couple of race victories recently for Ghost Speed, so it's good. It's great to see Franz Schneider in a World Championship race again, this time for Ghost Speed, because the last time we saw him, that was back in China. He didn't even make it off the starting grid, so when he stalled his car. So Schneider's got a great opportunity here to prove himself in a top car this afternoon, and I'd like to see exactly how he gets on. I'd like to think he'll do well. But for that, we don't really have any other debutantes in this race today. It's either just drivers that have done only 1 or 2 races in the past. So I'm intrigued. There's going to be there's going to be some interesting ways of how this race is going to play out. You have to admit Woodwiss's favourite victory again, but I think that if he can pick up his race pace, Samuel Lebert will push him hard if they can play out clever on the strategy as well.
Yeah, so it's a bit of a difficult one potentially for Ghost Speed there today. Ville Lapala, obviously he's there with Franz Schneider, and Ghost Speed will try to capitalise and maximise on as many points as they possibly can. Just give you a little bit of an update on how the current standings work out. Ivar Calames leads the way on 94 points. Woodwiss is in second place on 87. Philip Pushka is currently in third on 61, with Morgan Moran on 55. Jack Keithley is on 54 in 5th position. The team's championship adds up like this, with Precision leading the way on 199 points, with Ghost Speed on 116. GT Omega are third on 64. Twister Racing are fourth on 48. And Brem GP are fifth on 47 points. But there's a quite close group here. Twister, Brem GP, Crown 7 Networks and Ash Racing are all split by just 5 points, so it's very close in that midfield grouping, while Precision are running away in terms of the team championship, but I'm sure Ghost Speed will have something to say about that fairly soon, and also this could be a very, very strong day for Twister.
And GT Omega, don't forget, because they're up there in 3rd place in the standings. I think that GT Omega are going to really start to capitalise on this, because they've got Jack Keithley is starting to get back on pace again. Van Starkenburg's looking good as well. So they could really, it's a great chance for them to take points away from Ghost Speed and try and get themselves potentially into 2nd place, which we could be seeing technically Precision 1-2 in the team standings, which would be quite daunting for their rivals. One thing I wanted to point out this season, a quick fact that I managed to work out myself, is that this is the first time this season in the FSR in recent years that we've had more than 3 winners a season since 2010. 2010 we had 6. If I'm trying to work this out off the top of my head, we had Woodwiss was a victor, Bruno Marquez, we had Ronnie Hannell was a winner, Rasmus Tarley, Domagoj Malazic, and I'm trying to think of the 6th man. Who was it that won another race? I can't remember off the top of my head. I'll probably have to have a look at that. It was between the break for the that's one of the warm-up, I think. But yeah, it's interesting that this season really has been, as we said, very, very competitive. It's one that we've seen a lot of drivers get opportunities for victories, for podiums, and points. It was Jaakko Mikkonen. That's the one he won in China. That was it.
Cameraman.
It's always great to have someone who actually has won a couple of races in World Championships just to remind us of some statistics. So good job on that one, Jaakko. A belated well done for winning that race. It's about 3 years too late, but never mind. But brilliant stuff. So hopefully, if the Bear can measure Woodwiss today, we could maybe, and if Woodwiss maybe has 1 or 2 slip-ups, which is extremely rare that we see that, maybe the Bear could make it our 5th win of the season. So who knows? I mean, he really improved himself. It was a shame he got disqualified from Brett for Silverstone because he put in a great drive. One thing we'll have to try and get nailed is his starts though in his opening laps, because we saw it in the World Series and we saw it in the World Championship. He didn't really get very good starts. So if he can nail it today and stay with Woodwiss in the opening laps and maintain his 2nd place, then he will be in contention for a strong finish and at least a podium today.
Yep, so as these guys start their formation up, I'll run through the order. Pole position man is Woodwiss for Precision Motorsports. In 2nd place and in Twister Racing, it is Samuel Libert, who had a great qualifying run there. His teammate is right behind him, Edouard Malaki. He is in 3rd position. Ivar Kalamis, Bono's teammate, he is in 4th position. Patrick de Wit in the Crown 7 Netrex is in 5th position with his teammate directly behind him, Dion Kostadinov, in 6th position. Then comes the pairing of the GT Omegas with Jack Keithley in front of Rob van Starkenberg, who's looking to have a better race, hopefully finish the race after a disconnection yesterday after a very strong race. A wonderful return to form of Blair Disley. He is in 9th position with Brem GP's Gergo Boldy in 10th position. Then we have Franz Schneider in 11th position for Go Speed, and also Carlos Martin, who's not taken the grid. So will he be starting from pit lane? I presume he is, but Scott, I will let you run through the rest of the field.
Thank you very much. 13th place on the grid then, Ash Racing's Mark Alberts, alongside him in his 3rd World Championship Grand Prix, Marat Godek, so hopefully he can have a good run from 14th. William Lapala down in 15th for Go Speed, so a little bit off the pace, but he usually comes stronger in the race, as we've seen. 16th on the grid is going to be Zuhait's Cabo. Great stuff from the 2 Jasko Spain PSR's machines today. 16th and 7th, 16th is Zuhait's Cabo, 17th Alex Diaz. They could be, possibly, if they have a good race today, maybe they could get that first point where they're so desperately hungry. They did score 10th initially in Bahrain, but that was taken away from them after some Court of Appeal decisions. 18th, Peter Varga down there, so that's, again, he really hasn't had a very good season, Peter Varga, and really, that's a real shame because he was quite strong at some points last year, but hopefully he can try that can change. Then up to the back of the grid, it's Chris de Jong 19th, Thomas Mundy 20th for Ash Racing, and at the back of the grid is Giuseppe Marconi, and Yannick Lapchan starting from the back of the grid as well. He actually was pretty quick in warm-up, so he might come through the field pretty strongly. I think Martin is going to start from the back of the pit lane.
Yep, so 22 drivers for today's race, and they're all lining up on the grid now, and Martin is driving out in pit lane, so he will side start from pit lane, but here we go. We have 4 lights, and we are ready in Nurburgring, and away we go. Very short waiting time for the lights there, and straight away Woodwiss darts away. Ivar Kalamis has had a wonderful start. He's going to be up to 2nd place as he's challenging Libert going into turn 1. Can he sweep around the outside? Oh, yes, he can. Woodwiss from Ivar Kalamis, he's into 2nd place. Libert is 3rd. Kostadinov is challenging Malaki, and he's got by him. Oh, no, he's not. Look at that. Straight back from Malaki there, up the inside. Slight contact as well. Jack Keithley's looking to try and challenge Kostadinov. De Wit's down to 7th place. He's coming back at him now. So it's Woodwiss from his teammate Ivar Kalamis. Libert 3rd. Malaki is in 4th. Kostadinov's held 5th from Keithley. De Wit's going up the inside of Keithley in 6th though, but can't get the job done. Good exit though for Patrick de Wit here, and he might go side by side with him down towards the hairpin in turn 7, but he isn't. He's on the outside. Can Jack hold the line? It looks like he can, but de Wit's challenging around the outside. He's going to get a good exit. Does he? No. He can't get it done. Boldy is in 8th with Schneider in 9th position, Alberts in 10th. So the Go Speeds have started to progress forwards, but it is the race lead for Woodwiss.
I'll tell you what, that's exactly what the Bear needs to do. He got a much better start this time, and he has maintained that 3rd place. He lost the place off the good, of course. Great stuff from Calames. I thought in the first couple of the corners when he got a little bit shaky through turn 2 that he might lose it, but it's a great run as they charge up towards the NGK chicane for the first time. Weiss has that custom lead, and we're looking at now at DeWitt to charge up the inside of Keith Lee's the chicane. Beautiful pass up to 6th place. So the Netrex cars on fire in the first couple laps. They really are coming on strong today. But end of the first lap we come then, so if Weiss is going to lead it then, from Calamay's in 2nd, Lebert was his 3rd, then ahead of teammate with Lorkby in 4th. Costanov lining him up down the pit straight for 5th place. And we've also got DeWitt pulling away from Keith Lee in 6th. And just in front, Costanov up the inside. Lorkby getting very defensive into the hairpin. Huge lock up for Costanov. Will he get the cut back on the exit? Yes, he will. Excellent stuff. But Lorkby's coming back at him though into turn 2. Costanov holds the outside line. Beautiful stuff. So into 4th place. Wonderful, strong showing from the 2 Netrex. Getting very aggressive early on this afternoon. Checking his 7th, but Gergo Bally right literally on his gearbox. Then Frank Schneider up to 9th. Good show from him off the start as well. Good to get him to the top 10. Now Alberts is rounding out that top 10. And Starkberg down to 11th. Varga's up to 12th. Great start from him from like 19th on the grid. Good job from the Brum GP driver. Godek's down to up a place from 13th. Disley is now in 50th. He's a really poor start, down in 15th place. And Cabo's now under attack from Lapshan. He's making his carving his way through the field as well from the back. Napala's had a mistake somewhere. He's back down in 21st. So I didn't see what happened to him. Carlos Martin, I actually saw him. He actually left it very, very late to get away from the pit lane. So he's right the way behind. So he's got a lot of work to do to try and catch up. But it is still Bono who retains the lead. He's absolutely storming away.
Yeah, he is indeed. It's 1.8 second his lead over Ivar Calamies, and Simon Lebert, which is 7/10 behind Ivar Calamies at the moment. Kostanov is the man at the moment. He's in 4th with Edouard Malaki coming back at him towards NGK. And it's Patrick DeWitt in 6th.
We have to. And Baldi.
Yeah, Gergo Baldi up the inside. Good move there from Gergo Baldi and Jack Keithley. We have to remember also that there is probably a quite heavy amount of tyre differences and tyre strategy being played out here. Soft runners look like have moved their way forwards, and also the guys that were at the front have stormed away. You'd have to think that Keithley is on the harder compound at the moment, because look up the inside comes Alberts. Mark Albert's going up the inside, and he has taken a position, so he goes through into 8th place. And Franz Schneider's there ready to pounce also.
It's a bit interesting. Obviously I understand the GT makers are trying to play the long game and go on the hard. So, Van Starkenberg's had a bit of a twitch, and that was he lost 3 places. That was Varga trying to get past him, and as a resulting mistake, that lost in places to Godek and to Chris de Jong. So that was a bit of a shaky one there for Rob Van Starkenberg. So again, a bit of a nervous start then for the 2 GT Mega cars. Van Starkenberg down to 14th, and Keithley just about holding in 9th. Look at Varga lining up Schneider down towards the Dunlop curve. Will he make a dive up the inside? Yes, he will. And an easy pass there for Varga, and straight. He had to really break on the middle of the apex there because he went a bit too deep, and that almost sent Schneider careering into the back of him and losing his front wing. So that had to be very careful that Schneider, the Swiss driver, had to really stamp on the brakes to make sure he didn't suffer any damage there. Latchin just got by Rob Van Starkenberg as well, so he's gone up another position. I believe we lost Thomas Mundy. He looks like he's got a bit of a broken car at the moment, so we've lost Thomas Mundy. Gap out front is 2.3 seconds. But Simon Lebert has closed in on Ivar Calamies now also. The fast lap of the race has gone to Bonnehuis now 135.434. 36.1 to Ivar Calamies. 36.2 to Lebert, but it looks like he is starting to close that gap now. The Twister Racing driver come back at the precision driver, and the Konstantinov is 1.3 seconds behind. But Malaki is getting very, very close to him. Heading down into turn 1. Will he brake very late? No, he won't. So Konstantinov holds off. But Malaki is getting quite close to him. Bonnehuis with a 2.5 second lead at the start of lap 3. So this is typical fashion from Bonnehuis, extending his advantage early on in the race, stamping his authority on this first place and trying to hold on to it for the remaining 57 laps, of course. Heading into turn 2, just looking, we've still got Calames holding off Lebert. And looking if we've got any more moves going on. Yes, we do. It's Marek Godek trying to get up the inside of Schneider into turn 6. And couldn't make it stick there, so he has to settle for 12th so far, and got Chris de Jong still tailing him. The Mundy just seems to have a broken car, but he is still running, so he's back in 20th. So, and Lapala really hasn't made any inroads either, because he's struggling along in 21st. So neither is Carlos Martins. These guys at the back of the field really are in no man's land. As de Jong goes across the grass, and he's just trying to get past. In fact, he's just surrendered the place to Lapshan, and as Starkenberg's marching towards the back of the field, so he's back in 15th. So not really comfortable on these tyres in the early stages. He's waiting for them to get fully up to temperature, I would imagine.
I would have thought the 2 GT Omega drivers here currently are on the harder compounds, because Jack Keithley's about to come under heavy fire from Peter Varga going up towards NGK. Don't think it's going to get close enough though, is he? No, he's not quite. So he holds off, and Rob van Starkenburg having a slightly more difficult race than yesterday, but those tyres will come towards him, and so the time will come towards him also. 35.9 though for Woodwiss.
Battle for fourth. I just saw Costanov had a very shaky run into the education chicane. He climbed to the curb on the inside, and that's allowed Malorky right up the inside to retake his 4th place, but Kostanov says, don't think so. And round the outside he goes to try and retain it into turn 2, but Kostanov really was forced. He's been forced out onto the outside curb there, and that's now allowed Malorky back into 4th, and look at this. He says there's team orders, because DeWitt is right there on the rear wing of his teammate. How's this going to play out, I wonder? Let's have a look then.
He's right there. Malachi's got by, but also his teammate, Malachi's teammate, Samuel Lebert, has closed right up to the back of Ivar Calamies now as well. It's only 3/10 the gap as Woodwiss scampers way out front, 3.2 seconds. Beautiful drive currently for Woodwiss here, but Ivar Calamies and Samuel Lebert are very, very close, and we've got a 3-car battle on for 4th place between Malachi, Kostanov and DeWitt. Where's Gergo Boulder? He's 1.7 back in the Brem GP from Patrick DeWitt at the moment. Mark Alberts is closing him down for Ash Racing, having a good drive at the moment. Jack Keithley is 9th, and Peter Varga is in 10th, and Peter Varga is getting very close on Jack Keithley also.
Just also saw that was the Lapshan trying to dart out from the back of Franz Stade. We saw in warm-up that the two Piscara machines have fantastic race pace. They're up there in the top 10 of the times. So Lapshan started from the back of the grid in 22nd. Technically it's 21st because Martin started from the pit lane, but Lapshan really coming on strong here, taking 10 places in 5 laps. That's really great stuff from him, as we've now got Woodwiss next, extends the gap to 3.4 seconds up at the front. And Lebert's now really challenging Calamies up towards 2nd place, but isn't close enough to make a move into turn 1. And 4th, 5th and 6th have just spread it out just a tiny bit, so Malorky's got a small, slight gap now to Kostanov. And Kostanov just holding off DeWitt, so DeWitt's obviously felt it was a bit too close and decided just to give an extra car length or so. So good stuff from them so far. And I wonder if these two are going to start. So there's no team order. Maybe they'll be on the team speak, just saying, just steady on, boys. Let's keep it to the end of the race. This will be a great points haul for Netrex here in their battles over 4th. But of course, Twister will strengthen that advantage as well if they can hold on to their current positions.
Yeah, Lapchan and Godek are battling with Franz Schneider. Looks like Chris de Jong's got by Rob van Starkenburg as well. And Blair Disley, after his great qualifying, has gone backwards. He's now down in 16th place, is Blair Disley. And Zuhaitz Carvo and Alex Diaz are down in 17th and 18th. Giuseppe Marconi is in 19th, with Thomas Mundy in 20th. Villa Pala is all the way down in 21st. Oh dear, the Ghost Speed driver there is having a little bit of a nightmare. And Carlos Martini is also down in 22nd and some 13 seconds behind La Pala. So, bit of a nightmare there for Carlos.
Just in Calamies, his car was oversteering a bit through the apex of Marsteiner corner, and that's put Lebert right onto his rear wing now. So Lebert fancies a chance at 2nd place here. He seems to be quite having clearly a faster car. And I wonder if Lebert's takes a tighter around the exit of the Coca-Cola corner, and he's right there on the back of Calamies. There's going to be a chance to make a move down towards the Mercedes arena. He's getting pretty close as darts out and has a look, but again he's not far enough along, so forces Calamies to run slightly deep. That's going to put Lebert side by side with him. Oh, and there was a bit of contact there as well. Calamies moved across. That was quite naughty from him. But Lebert is not going to give this one up. Goes back up the inside towards turn 3, but Calamies covers the line. Lebert taking a tighter apex through turn 3. And the run through turn 4 is going to be quite telling towards the end of the 1st sector. A little wide there from Calamies. Slight twitch of oversteer I think I caught. And Lebert really is making it difficult for Calamies right now in these early laps.
It looks like Samuel Lebert has just got such a better front end on the front of that Twister. He can turn it in earlier, he can dive the nose in earlier, and Ivar Calamies has no answer currently. He's having to square corners off just to make sure he gets on the exit. Again, a huge lockup. He cannot get the front of that car turned in at the moment, and Samuel Lebert is all over him currently. Lebert is getting ever closer to Calamies, and Calamies is locking brakes on entry and just trying to get some sort of feel back towards the front of that car. As Woodwiss is nearly out to 4 seconds, got towards turn 10. Looks like Calamies has got it back under control now, and as long as he gets a good exit from 11, that should quell the threat from Lebert. Lebert went wide in 11 as well, so Calamies holds on to fight another day at 4/10 advantage.
What's interesting, you mentioned that the gap is 4.4 seconds. It's quite interesting that Huis is getting away, and Calamies is almost acting as sort of like a barrier between Huis and Lebert. That's kind of like that's the kind of brick wall that Lebert has to try and break through. in order to stand any chance of maybe winning this race. But at the moment, it's looking pretty impossible because the gap is now 4.6 seconds. Lebert once again thinking about moving to turn 1. Will he force Calais to outbrake himself? Answer is, he makes him force him to lock up again in towards the first corner. And Lebert again with that tighter line, so that front end of that twister really is looking hooked up. Yeah, Calais almost stopped it on the apex there in turn 2.
Yeah, through turn 2, you could just see the difference that Twister racing car has got. You can really sweep through the apex so much faster than what Calais can. Calais actually locked up going through turn 1 as well. Under braking again, looks like he's struggling a little bit, but Calais is coming under heavy pressure from Lebert. I think the thing that's serving Calais quite well at the moment is he seems to have superior straight line speed over the Twister racing car. Where is Edward Malachy in all this? He's 2.8 seconds further back down the road.
Looking at lap times, this is how much it's hurting Lebert compared to Weiss. Weiss's last time was a 36.1. Compared to Lebert, he's forced to do the same kind of lap times as Calais. Calais and Lebert are doing 36.9, so Weiss is pretty much pulling away by the rate of about 7/10 to 3/4 of a second a lap. Malork is pretty much running exactly the same pace as Lebert is, but he's 3.3 seconds behind his teammate. Kostadinov is actually running faster at a 36.7 last time around. De Witt is only on the 37.4. Gerger Baldi's flying along 36.7, so he's actually quicker than... He's on par with Kostadinov for the last lap time, but he's actually quicker than Calais, Lebert and Malork and De Witt, so he could be possibly getting himself into the top 5 in the near future. Through the second sector, and Weiss is substantially faster with 3/10 quicker through sector 1 and a whopping 4/10 quicker through sector 2. So already this is the 7/10 found already in the first 2 sectors, so Weiss is again putting his foot down.
Looks like we've got our first pit stop as well. Mark Alberts has dived into pit lane on lap number 9, so he's the first one to blink in the Ash racing car. So he's obviously on the soft tyres and looking to get rid of them and probably switch over onto the harder compounds, and he should be away momentarily.
It's quite interesting that Ash Racing always seems to be the first team that pits usually in a race. They're always the ones that make the first stops. Obviously, they are obviously very ambitious going with the soft compound tyre. We usually see Simoncic at this point make a one. Oh, and Jaakko's actually said, oh my god, for some reason. So what's he found? Lapshan. What's happened to Lapshan? He's into 9th place. So he's into 9th, but was it... He clashed, I think, with Varga, if I'm correct. So we can get a replay. Let's have a look at it. I'm looking at the replay. Oh, look at the replay. Whoa, that was interesting. Lapshan pretty much barged his way through. He forced himself way past Varga. That was pretty interesting. I'm not sure the stewards are going to look too kind on that one, because it was a pretty forceful pass. Looking at the replay.
Yeah, it was very forceful from him there. I'm not too sure what he was doing there, but that was extremely forceful. And I'm sure the steward's going to have something to look at afterwards. Out in front, though, Bonnequist leads at 5.3 seconds from Ivar Calmes. Samuel Lebert just behind Edward Malachy is 2.7 further back. And looking... is that... oh, Huis has dived in. Bonnequist has dived into pit lane. Calmes is carrying on, and so is Lebert. What's Malachy doing? Malachy has also decided to carry on now, but in comes Kostadinov. So Kostadinov is in. So there's a lot of pit stops happening now.
So this is going to be key now, affecting Lebert. As he's still stuck behind Calmes, this is really going to hurt him the longer he stays behind him. Of course, if they have to take the battle of the pit lane, Lebert's going to hope that the twisted mechanics can get him out quicker than the Precision boys can. And Precision, effectively, also known for, well, as the name suggests, precision. So you'd like to think that their pit stop's going to be pretty damn quick. Now, if Weiss rejoined, looks like back in 6th place,
right in front of Jack Keithley. Yeah, that works for Bono though, because he's come out on those tyres that are significantly newer, and Keithley's obviously got to race them. Yeah, he's got to go longer on them as well now. He's got a clear air. He's got 2.6 seconds to patch it to it, so that's worked quite nicely. And Keithley will fend off Peter Varga now. He's actually dropped back Varga. He was quite close to Keithley, but it's now 2.6 seconds further back down the road. So it's all starting to shake out a little bit. Ivar Calmes now leads from Samuel Lebert, from Edouard Malachy, who's in 3rd. Gergo Baldi is in 4th, with De Witt in 5th position, and Huis, after making his stop, is in 6th place.
Of course, Weiss will have to be careful with De Witt, because of course, remember what happened in Canada. Who can forget that? Obviously, De Witt was the bane of Weiss's existence that day. He compromised him twice. I'm not quite sure what De Witt was taking that day, but it definitely wasn't something that was keeping him sane. So, nonetheless, moving forwards, and Calmes and Lebert diving in at the same time. So this is going to be a battle of the pit crews. So we'll watch that for a second. Varga versus Godek. This is over 8th position. And Varga, I think, he's holding off Godek. He got past him as they both. Oh, that was late there from Varga. And he was covering off Godek, it looks like. He wanted to try and kind of cover him off a little bit, and Godek's very impatient to get past. Pretty similar to what I saw Nico Rosberg doing earlier in today's Grand Prix. He was very desperate to try and get past Paul di Resta in the pits. He was right on his gearbox as we see Malorqui and the Bear
the traffic. Calamise has come out right in the middle of traffic between Franz Schneider, Rob van Starkenburg and Blair Disley. He's slotted into the middle of them. Where's Maliki? He's in 9th position. Le Bear...
He jumped the Bear.
Yes, so Le Bear's had a big issue and gone back. Yeah, he's a massive issue there, and he's been jumped by Maliki. Maliki's come out in front of Dion Kostadanov. Alberts is in 11th now, and Le Bear's 12th. So there's a bit of a moment there in pit lane. So that's worked out nicely upon Aquis. He now goes up to 2nd place, and race leader, good man, Gergo Baldi's out in front. Brem GP.
I thought you might be pleased with that one, Nick. I think that's the reason why they simply had to wait for the guys coming out. So you had to wait for Malorqui and DeWitt, all of them to come out of pits, and that's the reason why he lost out. Oh, it's pretty risky there, because I'm pretty sure I don't want to put any damper on it, but I'm pretty sure that the Bear was very close to the edge of the white line, at the end of the white line, as he was exiting. So I'm not sure if the steward said that was something that he crossed or he just touched it, but if he did, that may come back to haunt him later on, especially after the race. So, but we'll have to wait to see for that one. But so yes, Gergo Baldi is now leading, but he's got our old friend Bono Huis hunting him down. The gap as across the line, 1.7 seconds. That's the advantage of new tyres then. But Baldi having his spot in the limelight, it seems, for MGP, as he likes to do. And the MGPs always go longer on their tyres, it seems, especially Gergo Baldi, because they always manage to stretch it out, and sometimes they run them until the point where they really cannot hold them anymore. And once they've got to that point, that's the clear indicator that they have to do it. As you can see, Baldi locking up heavily into turn 2, so maybe this is the signal that their tyres are past their best after 11 laps, the softs, and it's better to switch up, bolt on the hards and keep going.
Yeah, Baldi's having a good run of the hit at the moment. He's still on 36.4. Comparisons with 36.5 from Jack Keithley. 4 second splits them. Both are on the hard tyre, we believe, at the moment as well. Huis has come back out, likely to be on the hard tyre after his soft tyre run at the start of the race. So Huis will be starting to close him down. But Gergo Baldi's setting some good lap times. Like I said, 36.4 compared to 36.5. Franz Schneider. Oh, here we go. Ivar Calamise has gone up the inside of turn 7. Dived up. Oh, way too deep, though. Far too deep. He'll come back at Schneider, but Schneider will hold on. But Ivar Calamise needs to get by Schneider quite quickly here, ideally. Rob van Starkenburg, he's also on the harder compound, and he's done a 36.6. Blair Disley's come forward, he's on a 36.9, likely also on the hard tyre. Ivar Calamise is threatening Schneider now, coming out of turn 11. Can he get close enough? No DRS for these guys, but they're going to try and draft up to them, and he is doing that exactly as Ivar Calamise up towards NGK. Brakes later, and he goes past the ghost speed and up into 4th place. Van Starkenburg is 6th, Disley 7th, Carbo is in 8th. The first twister, Maliki, is in 9th. That's a lot of traffic between Ivar Calamise and Edouard Maliki here. Kostanov, Albert, and then Liber. And Liber's about to get taken by DeWitt, is he, going down towards turn 1? He is indeed. To the outside is DeWitt. He's pressuring Liber. Huge lockup from DeWitt and was completely sideways. Liber holds a position. This was all going over 12th place.
And I'm not quite sure what DeWitt was doing, because he was forcing Liber to the inside. He really was pushing him. So that really wasn't something that I'm not sure DeWitt was going to look too lightly on. He managed to get away with it just, but he really forced him down towards the pit. And again, Liber's doing it back to him though. And around the outside goes, but surely not. Oh, that was beautiful from DeWitt. That was brilliant stuff. Liber forced him, trying to give him back a taste of his own medicine, and DeWitt was like, no, not in your life, and just stuck it around the outside. On fresh tyres, bear in mind, because he's made his pit stop soon, so that's going to be pretty key. So, well,
so is Liber, so that could indicate potentially that he's on the softer compound again. So there could be an alternate strategy here from Patrick de Wit on a softer compound at this point in time. Out in front is still Gergo Baldi. He just did a 36.3 as well, so those hard tyres are serving him very, very well at the moment, is Gergo Baldi. And Bono Huis, big lock up there for Huis going into NGK. Got it sorted out and has fallen back from Baldi. But yeah, they're serving him well. Where's Jack Keith? He's still 4 seconds behind Baldi.
He is. I just see Malorqui has got past, but he's just in front of Kostadanov, but he's now going to line up towards Cabo as Franz Schneider pits.
Wow, sideways. Malky was sideways trying to get past Carbo there. He's got the job done, so that's 2 guys in 2 corners. And Kostadnov's now going to come at Carbo. And Malachi's got to defend for his life going down into turn 1. And can he defend enough? He can. Where is Kostadnov though? Kostadnov's around the outside and goes up the inside for 2. Gets the position. Oh, Carbo's going to come back at Malachi now, is he as well? He does. Slight sideways. Big hit there as well. Who was that? That's DeWitt, I think, got a little bit of damage there. I think Mark Albert's just about missed it in the Ash Racing.
And it's put him right in front of the Bear. That's not what the Bear wanted to see, having an errant Jaakko Spain PSR car just stuck right in front of him. That's really going to compromise him now. And
well, talk about tyre strategy, throwing a spanner in the works, because we've got some great racing, and the Bear is the one that's suffering most.
That is true, and of course Bono Huis isn't really faring too well either, because he's stuck behind Gergo Baldi at the moment, and all that time's going to allow the likes of Keithley, who I think is yet to pit on the hard tyres, of course. So Callamaton is the next man who's directly involved in the fight for the lead in some way, and Baldi, as well as he's doing, and full credit to him, he is in effect holding up Bono Huis. There's nothing at the moment that Huis can do about it. Or is there?
He is now. He's going at the inside. Wow,
there he
what
goes.
a late break that was from Bono Huis there. Retakes the race lead. A great move there from Bono Huis on Gergo Baldi. Baldi having a good race himself. This works at Huis because he only had 1 car to negotiate. He's been behind him for quite a few laps though, but he has negotiated him. That's worked out for Huis. While all the way back down in the field, both Twister Racing cars are in massive scraps. Malachi's now got Kostadnov and Disley in front of him, and Van Starkenberg. DeWitt is then in front of Albert, and Lebert is coming at Albert, going into turn 1. This is what Lebert needs. He needs to get by another driver, and he's dispatched Mark Alberts going into turn 1. But can Alberts get the cut back? No, he can't. Lebert is now back inside the top 10, and he's going to start hunting down Patrick DeWitt, with his teammate Advid Malachi just in front of DeWitt.
So Twister cars really are suffering off their great qualifying, and this strategy hasn't really paid out for them. And they hadn't expected the likes of the hard tyre runners to be in a place that they were, because of course GT Omega have made up for their slow start. Keithley up in 3rd and Van Starkenberg now up to 5th. Of course, these guys are going to be running to roughly around lap 20 or so, I would imagine. And maybe they're going for an alternate strategy. Maybe they're going the other way around, hard, soft possibly. So you could be seeing the 2 GT Omega cars cutting through the pack on the final few laps on the soft tyre.
Scott, I think we're actually seeing 3 different types of strategy here. I think we're seeing soft, hard, soft, but I believe DeWitt might be doing something else different as well. He might be going triple soft, and then maybe a hard at the end, mate, potentially, because his pace has been superb. He may be on the hard tyre again, I'm not too sure, but we may be seeing a completely different strategy from DeWitt also.
That is quite possible.
He's coming at Malachi now, going towards NGK. He's going to the inside, is he? Hugely late braking. Too late braking, and Malachi slipped back by. That's going to give Lebert a chance on DeWitt now. That's probably worked out quite nicely for Twister, because Malachi's gotten that break. But can Lebert get the run out of the hairpin on DeWitt? No, he can't. Lebert is actually suffering with quite a lot of understeer now, it seems. Did he take damage in pit lane, I wonder, with the squabbling that was going on?
I didn't see it. No, what I saw on the replay, I didn't see him make contact with anyone, because he went to the move and then he stopped because he had to let both one of the Twister, I think it was Kostadnov, and his teammate run past him in the pit lanes just to prevent an unsafe release. So there wasn't any contact from what I could see. So it's possibly just the fact that he's been battling has burnt up his tyres a bit too much, more than he'd like to.
I think next battle could be Kostadnov against Disley as well for 6th, because Kostadnov's really closed him down.
Well, the hard tyres obviously aren't really working that much for Disley, because Disley seems to have taken a lot out of his, because his pace has really dropped off. He's up in 6th, but he's not really doing his run any justice so far. As Kostadnov always forced Disley to go deep. Oh, Disley comes off, and apparently Mikko says that our race director is the best stalled in the pits. I did see he stopped, but I didn't realise he stalled in the pits. That's the reason why he lost so much time. So I thought he stopped because he was letting other cars through, but apparently he had enough of a gap originally to be able to get in front of them, but that was fine. So there wasn't any contact, as we thought, Jaakko, so thank you for that. But pretty tricky. I did see a couple of laps ago, just whilst you were talking there, Nick, I did see Calamates did go pretty wide through RTL curve, turn 10. So
sorry, Scott, we've got a battle from Kostadnov going up to NGK in front of Blair Disley. This is over 6th position, and he's got a place. Kostadnov goes by Blair Disley. You're absolutely right with what happened there before with Samuel Lebert. He stalled in pit lane, and we've been confirmed from Mikko Puuline, race director. Thank you, Mikko, in the fact that there was no contact in pit lane also. So, and DeWitt is now hunting down Maliki going towards turn 1. He's going to go to the outside. Disley's there because Disley's just got passed by Kostadinov. Disley went deep. DeWitt's going to go for the outside of turn 2 on Maliki. Maliki sweeps back across, and look at that, he misses the apex, and DeWitt goes up the inside. So DeWitt goes up in position. That's the Crown 7 Netrex past the Twister, and DeWitt is past Maliki, and now it's DeWitt on Blair Disley. He's going towards turn 5, and he's not going to get by him there, is he? No. And into 6? No. So Patrick DeWitt has very, very strong pace at the moment, and he's up behind Blair Disley coming down towards the Dunlop hairpin of turn 7. Round the outside, does he? He's got a lot of speed going around there. Can he get the exit though? No, he can't. Blair Disley is defending for his life. Good job, Blair Disley at the moment, as Disley is defending, going through Schumacher S. Come towards turn 10 now. That Crown 7 Networks has got a lot of straight line speed as well, which is really helping. Malaki's coming back at him now because they're both being held up somewhat by Blair Disley. Kostadinov is scampering away, 1.2 seconds is the gap, and it's straight away Disley defended the inside line. He'll defend going towards the left hand side of NGK, does he? No, he doesn't. DeWitt got a great run, and up the inside goes DeWitt, and does get it stopped this time after clobbering the curb. And wide goes Maliki, and the bear was up the inside as well. The bear's going to get Maliki as well. That's 2 positions in 1 corner as Disley hits, and the bear does get him. It's Maliki going to come straight back at the bear. This is teammates going down towards turn 1 now also. Oh, did he back out? No, he's not. He's going at it. They're going side by side into turn 1. Maliki on the bear. They don't want to hit each other. The bear gets a position though. The bear up into 8th. Maliki 9th. Hunting down Patrick DeWitt, and Kostadinov is 6th. Van Starkenberg, the man at the moment, he's in 5th place. He's 3.6 seconds behind Ivar Kalamies. And good job at the moment from Gergo Boldy. After that pass, he's only fallen back to 1.5 second behind Bono Huis. Good pace for the Brem GP car, and he still held that 4-second gap back to Jack Keithley.
I wasn't going to mention that. Good stuff from Gergo Baldi. He's not actually. It's interesting because the guys on the soft tyres, they fell away very quickly, and obviously the fact that the bear was stuck behind Calames lost him so much time. It's interesting that now Baldi and Huis are effectively on the same tyres, because of course Huis is much fresher. Baldi's actually done a very good job to not let Huis get away too much, and he done a very impressive job there. So hats off to Gergo Baldi. Shows you exactly what his true pace is once he gets the car up to speed and goes that deep into a race. So good job from him so far. Looking back quickly to see if we've got any more battles going on as far as I can see. Closest battle on track possibly, I think. It's pretty close for 13th. Christy Young fending from Yannick Lapshan. Oh, Lapshan almost hit the diffuser there of Christy Young as they headed through RTL. And a huge lock up in the background. That's Varga and Disley. That was Varga and Disley. What was going on there between those two? See if we can get a replay of that possibly, Jaakko, very quickly, if we can. And Disley, did he force Jaakko through? Let's have a look. Down towards RTL. And let's have a look. Well, it was coincidence. Varga locked up. Disley had to try and avoid it. Had to try and go wide in avoidance. And I think he might have just clipped the back of Varga's car. Even that's lag on my screen. But Disley actually got through, all due to Varga's mistake.
Mark Alberts has made another pit stop as well, so it looks like he's gone on 2 sets of soft compound there. Might be on a 3rd set of soft compound now also. So he's got, I think that's soft because it's only lap 19 and he's been to pit lane now twice. So he's got another set of tyres, and while these hard tyre runners are still out there.
Back to the battle between Lapshan and De Jong. I did see they went side by side into turn 1. So they're still going at it, and Lapshan is right there with the Dutchman. He's weaving this way and that. He's saying, come on, get on with it, Chris. I've got much faster race pace than you. I know I can go faster. Just give me a chance to get through and I'll take it. Down towards the Dunlop curve once again. Quick mention to Zuhait's Cabo. Well done for him to get into 10th place so far in this race on those hard compound tyres. Good job from him. And DeWitt has a bit of a trailer behind him. Always De Jong's defending from Lapshan. And Diaz has had a bit of a mistake on the exit of that corner behind him. Disley's just saying thank you very much. And into 14th place. So that's not too bad. Back with Lapshan very quickly. He hasn't got past De Jong just yet, so maybe we'll keep an eye on that one. We did mention what's going on with DeWitt. He's got a bit of a train behind him, which he has. And it's the 2 Twister cars, LeBear and Malorku, after their squabbles.
Yeah, they're closing in on quite a range as well. LeBear's closing on DeWitt quite a lot. Looks like 35.4 is LeBear's fastest lap personal best. He's just on an even faster personal best as well. 35.7 now for Maliki, so they've got some time coming towards on those two Twister cars as they hone in on the back of the Crown 7 Netrex car of Patrick de Witt and his teammate in front of him, which is Dion Kostadinov. Van Starkenburg is the 5th placed man.
And Latchan once again on De Jong. This time he's got a good run into turn 1. De Jong will try and sweep it around the outside, but Latchan has the advantage. He's done it straight onto the back of them comes Blair Disley. He's saying, "Can I play, boys? I want to make it."
Fresh tyres. That's fresh tyres for Disley as well. So he's this is going to be net position. If Blair Disley in the Biocross Positive Sim Racing can get past Chris de Jong, this is outright racing. And you can see the speed difference. And Disley actually had to back out there. Oh my God, he was so close to the rear wing there of Chris de Jong as the closest down now. Out of turn 6, pure drive out of turn 6, going down towards turn 7 now. Can he get it up on the inside? No, he can't. So de Jong has got good straight line speed in that car. Through on the inside, there goes Blair Disley. Pushes de Jong very, very wide. Very courteous driving from Disley. He actually didn't get on the throttle outright, so he gave Chris de Jong racing room. Good work from Blair Disley coming up towards turn 10. But Disley definitely wants to try and get by de Jong now. Into turn 10. Later on the brakes goes Blair Disley. Very close to him once again. Can he get the exit out of 11? He can indeed, and straight away, straight on the power to the outside. But look how fast Chris de Jong is in a straight line. Blair Disley can't do anything about it other than try and brake a lot later. He's tried to do that. De Jong's gone too deep into the corner. Ironically goes over the chicane. Just saying. Disley then has now got by and held that position.
Well, I think Chris Disley's tactic was, if you can't beat him in a straight line, force him into a mistake, and that's exactly what he did. So, looking up at de Witt though, in front, he's now got LeBear right on his gearbox again. So LeBear must be pretty sick of seeing Netrex gearboxes for a while, but up towards turn 5 they go. And the Bear's just
de Witt and the Bear is game on because he's getting ever closer to him. He got such a run through that last corner. You see de Witt got a good exit there. I thought he was actually going to sweep on the inside of 6 there.
It's intriguing, down towards the Dunlop curve. Small lock-up from both of them, but the Bears sticking around. Oh, it's been for Kostadinov. Kostadinov has spun on the exit of Dunlop curve. And there goes de Witt. Is the Bear going to make it through? It's huge squeeze. De Witt makes it through. Brilliant driving from all 3 of them to keep it on the road. And this has put Malorki on the tail of them. What a 4-way scrap. It's Twister versus Netrex. This is not only for track and race position, this will be for championship points as well.
That helps Rob Van Starkenburg as well, because Kostadinov was quite close to him. And obviously they come around to their pit stops, I would have thought. So that helps Van Starkenburg. So de Witt is now holding off his teammate, and both Twisters are behind. Van Starkenburg pits, in fact. So he's seen what's happened, and he thought, right, let's get in and get some fresh tyres and capitalise on this opportunity.
That'll be a fantastic undercut if he can manage it, but look at this fantastic foursome down the straight then. It's de Witt and Kostadinov, then LeBear and Malorki. Currently Netrex have track position. As Van Starkenburg trundles down the order, he's now currently 9th, is now with 10th as Frank Schneider goes past the pits. As LeBear goes up the inside, de Witt hits the back of Kostadinov, and that's put Malorki right up in the positions, taking him into 7th place. So de Witt made a huge mistake there, and that was down into turn 1. Look, he just outbraked himself, and he came under pressure from LeBear, tried to carry more speed than the Twister into the first corner, clipped. He just tapped the back of Kostadinov's car. I don't think it will cause too much any damage, if any at all. And now LeBear is now been released to go after Malorki, but Malorki's giving some headaches here as well, because he almost thought about going up the inside of his teammate into Ford curve, but down towards Dunlop curve again. What LeBear will line take. de Witt gets defensive again, and he really is holding on.
Van Starkenburg came out in 11th place, and he's 3.8. Yeah, loads of clean air. I was about to say that. Yeah, 3.8 seconds to Zuhait's Carbo. So that's worked out for Van Starkenburg. 5 seconds in front of Disley. So that's been a great run for Van Starkenburg there in the GT Omega, and he's fed out into absolutely clean, fresh air. Great driving from Van Starkenburg here. And Carbo is the next man up the road. He will start closing him down. As these guys go at it again. LeBear up the inside of de Witt, does he? No, late on the brakes. de Witt again loves those late braking moves as de Witt, and holds his position. LeBear is ready to pounce though. Maliki's there. Kostadinov is also thereabouts. And he's actually just latched on the back of Maliki also. Frank Schneider now into pit lane. So we're on lap 22. Did he pit yet? I've missed that. Did
I don't think he has
already? Okay, so he's on the hard tyre. All right, so that's about standard. Jack Keithley just come out pit lane as well, in front of Carbo. Good driving there from Keithley. He's come out in front of Carbo, and 2.5 seconds behind this immense scrap with DeWitt, Kostadinov and Lebert.
DeWitt's practically parking it on the apex of every corner. Lebert almost hit the back of Kostadinov, had a look as well. And he's now right on the gearbox with his teammate down towards turn 5. Will he have the run? Malorqui's to his outside. How's this going to sort itself out? Malorqui holds the outside run. Oh, Malorqui loves those outside passes. He's done it again. Fantastic move. Kostadinov holds it on the outside of the fork curve, though, down towards Dunlop. This is over 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th for track position at the moment. Malorqui back up the inside. Kostadinov holds it on the exit of Dunlop. Give each other racing room with a little rub of wheels, but Kostadinov has it again. Malorqui's not going to give this up in a moment, but he had to. Through Marcus Schumacher to make sure they both kept it on the black stuff. Down towards RTL, Lebert on DeWitt's gearbox. Oh, and DeWitt went wide. Lebert looks to his outside through Warsteiner. And on the exit now down the straight towards the Advan Kink. He'll stay there. Can he get alongside? He's trying. He's trying. Forced onto the curb. DeWitt's now moving to the outside of the track. He's getting very defensive. And Lebert again. DeWitt holds his line, almost outbreaks himself, and Lebert's trying everything he can to try and hold on. He is currently in a split wreck sandwich, and Malorqui for the moment can't do anything about it. Lebert's been forced wide. Kostadinov has a look up the inside onto the final corner, onto the pit straight. Look at this fantastic trade, and look in the background, Keithley's closing on these four. This could be a 5-way scrap for 4th as again. Lebert defends.
Carbo just pitted as well. That's released the second GT Omega as well for Keithley to close in. But Keithley's already on that pack, so the GT Omegas are coming up to this immense scrap.
Lebert's got through.
Spin DeWitt! He's half spun it. Great save there, Patchy DeWitt. Great work to not go all the way round there from DeWitt. He's held on. Kostadinov is in front, and what is Jack Keithley going to do now? He's got to try and get past both twisters. Incredible to think that both the GT... Oh, wow! Jack Keithley round the outside of turn 5, going to turn 6. Can he get it up the inside of Malachy? Yes, he can! Jack Keithley goes up into P6, will defend in towards turn 7, right out to the grass almost there, and he will hold on to... I mean, Lebert is the next man, the next target for him. But Keithley goes up, and to think these twisters were racing precision, they're now in a scrap with the GT Omegas, who have come right back into the 4 as well. And Keithley has negotiated one twister racing car. Where's Van Starkenburg? Just 1.6 seconds behind DeWitt. He is also pitted, remember, so both GT Omegas have pitted. Kostadinov's the man at the 4 of the field at the moment, in 4th place of this little group, Lebert in 5th, and it's just... Gergo Baldi finally pits. Gergo Baldi into pit lane now. So that releases Ivar Calames. I shouldn't say release, he wasn't close to him, but Ivar Calames goes through back into 2nd place, 9.5 seconds behind Bonuhuis. Away goes Gergo Baldi, likely onto another set of hard tyres, I would have thought. Now, where's Kostadinov? Can he get into turn 1 in front of Kostadinov?
He can.
This will be crucial for Baldi, because he's going to have fresh tyres and not get mixed up in all this lot. He is. This is brilliant from Gergo Baldi. What a job he's done. He has come out in 3rd place, and that's a net 3rd place on fresh tyres, and will pull away from Kostadinov, Lebert, Keithley, Malachy, Van Starkenburg, Disley. What's happened to Witt? He's pitted. He's coming back out of pit lane now, and he's going to be in front of Zuhait's Carbo. He's in fact going to go side by side as he into turn 1 with him. Yes, he is. DeWitt should hold the position, though. He has held the position. DeWitt's down in 13th.
What a strategy, what a result this would be if Gergo can hold on to it for 3rd place. That's some brilliant driving for 23 laps on the hard compound tyres. We said Gergo Baldi likes to get the most out of his tyres. He literally gets 100% out of them. He runs them until they can run no more, and he really has done that. And look at the advantage it's gained him, look. He's got ahead of that fantastic 4-way scrap, which I suppose it's well, DeWitt's dropped back now. He's rejoined in the track on 13th, ahead of Zuhait's Cabo. So he's got some work to do. These guys, of course, have yet to pit, of course, to make their second slot just yet. But I think they're all running the hard tyres, I believe. But Baldi, of course, is on the same tyres, but much fresher. They're not temperature just yet, but they're brand new. So he just bolted them on from exit last time out in the pits. So Baldi holds 3rd. Then.
I wouldn't expect these guys in for a very long period of time now. Also, Kostadinov from Lebert from Keithley. So these guys will be in. These guys can be out for quite a long time now.
Well, Keithley's tyres are quite fresh also, because he recently pissed a couple of laps ago. So
yeah, he's on some fresh tyres, so he's going to be up for a while. Lebert, Kostadinov, and that group around them, also Malachy, will be pitting for their second set after being on the soft tyres at the start. So they'll be going a good few laps longer yet. Also,
it wouldn't surprise me if we end up with a top 5 of Huis, who we've almost kind of forgotten about. He's 10.6 seconds up the road and away and gone from teammate Eli Calames. It wouldn't surprise me if the top 5 ends up being Weiss, Calames, Baldi, and then the 2 GT Omega cars, because these guys might be on an alternate strategy, and it wouldn't surprise me if the 2, as I said earlier on, the 2 GT Omegas bolt on the softs, and they get themselves right into the mix and use those soft tyres to their advantage, because we've seen just how much of a substantial speed difference there is between the 2 tyre compounds, especially here. And in the opening laps we saw guys like Peter Varga carving his way through the field and other guys making overtakes in the first few laps. So these guys will know exactly just how quick these soft tyres can be, but of course with the higher wear rates they'll try and push them as hard as they can, but you may even see them get the best out of them early on, trying to push harder.
We may be in for a rerun of yesterday as well, because Rob van Starkenburg is 2.2 seconds behind of Maliki. Now these guys were the other way round in World Series yesterday. It was Van Starkenburg that was leading the way with Maliki in second, hunting him down. Now Van Starkenburg is pitted. He's 2.2 seconds behind Maliki, and it's going to be Van Starkenburg's chance now to close down Maliki. And if they are to come together and start battling, I'm sure it'll be a bit of a bittersweet moment, considering Van Starkenburg's disconnection yesterday.
Tell you someone who's doing pretty well at the moment. 9th place, Blair Disley. Of course, he had a bit of a shaky start, down to about 17th. He's now coming under pressure from Franz Schneider. Also, a great job from him as well. He's a World Trophy winner this season with Go Speed. He's now had the opportunity to stand in for Morgan around this race and doing pretty well to at least get himself into the points. Up there in 10th, that'll earn him a World Championship point if he can stay there for the remainder of the race. Could make it 2 if he could get past the Australian in front of him. But this, I think, is on much fresher tyres than Schneider is, I believe. Or at least, I think these two might have even stopped around the same time, because I know Schneider pitted recently, I think. So, this is an overall battle for 9th. Just behind them in 11th, Yannick Lapshan started at the back of the field, but he's up just on the fringes of the points, so maybe he could force himself in there. Got some good race pace that he's shown, especially in the past couple of races. Qualifying's not all fantastic. He doesn't usually get it into the top 10. He has done a couple of times this season. And I think one of his best qualifying performances was in Monaco when he qualified 4th. So when he has got qualifying pace, he's good, but usually he likes to start outside the top 10. Well, not that he can help it in some cases, but he does come through the race pretty well, as Disley's putting Schneider, it's coming a huge pressure with Schneider. That's forced him wide, and Schneider into 9th now. So a great move from the young Swiss driver, and he's now going to try and push on to try and catch Rob van Starkenburg, who's quite a way up the road. They got to about 7 seconds or so, so he's going to have to try and about 6 even. So he'll have to shift some to try and close him. He looks like he's got good pace there at the moment, Schneider.
Yeah, Rob van Starkenburg's close to 1.5 seconds now on Edwin Maliki. And he's only 2.8 behind his teammate Jack Keithley as well. So throughout all that shakeout, obviously Keithley came on to quite a lot of in traffic, battling with both the Crown 7 Netrex and the Twisters. So that's probably helped Van Starkenburg close in. But he's only 2.9 behind. He's closing in on Edward Maliki as well now. Franz Schneider is exactly 5 seconds further back down the road from Rob van Starkenburg. So these strategies are starting to pay out. But again, Scott, I don't really think we'll see this full race unfold until around about the last 15 laps, once the strategies have all worked themselves through.
No, I think you're right. I think you've made a very good point. Like I said, the guys who are onto their second stint of hard tyres, of course, they'll have run them into probably roughly around 5 to 7 laps on that one. As I was about to talk about Kostadinov, who's coming under pressure from Lebert at the moment. And as you said, the soft tyre runners who are obviously going to make their final stops around that time, so they're going to be on those fresh tyres, much faster tyres as we've said. So I do agree. I think we're only going to get a true proper race and some real desperate last minute changes of position in our final kind of 15 laps or so. But that's what's made this season so great, is the fact that we've got these tyre rules in like we have in real Formula 1, and it has helped to improve the racing. We've got some great split strategies. It keeps everyone guessing, and it does keep... We saw in the early season, we had races where we had, battles go down all the way to the last lap. So it was absolutely fantastic. Speaking of battles, Kostadinov still fending off from Lebert at the moment. Gap between them is now only 0.3 of a second, or that is about a quarter of a second in fact. Lebert closing under braking. Small lock up from both of them because that's how hard they're pushing. And into turn 2, Lebert utilising a fantastic setup of that twister. Kostadinov runs a little wide on the exit. Lebert gets close. Almost basically pushing Kostadinov around turn 3. But the Bulgarian, or the Bulgarian? Yeah, Bulgarian is holding on for the moment from the Frenchman. Lebert made such a great impact on his return after 3 years away from FSR back at Silverstone. And a great race, showed fantastic pace in the World Series race, but again, it was his starts in both the World Series and the World Championship which really hindered him and lost him places on the first lap, and that's why he could have been higher up than he really was. But the Bear did a good job to get second place, only to be disqualified on a technicality after the race, which was a shame. But he showed some really great potential, and on paper, if he hadn't had that infringement, he technically did deserve that second place. He put in a great drive. But Lebert is now trying to fight his way back through after a shaky opening part of the second stint. Pushing on, see if he can make it past. And he's getting very close. You can have a look into NGK chicane, maybe. No, not quite. He does a huge lock up though, closes up a lot. And I think that Kostanov really is feeling straight, and he's lost his way to Cabo, unfortunately. First retirement from the race, and pretty much bang on half distance, pretty much. Because we're on lap 30 right now, and Bono Huis leader is by 11 seconds. Here comes the Bear though, and he's very defensive, almost squeezed him onto the pit wall. That was a bit cheeky from Kostanov, but the Bear's trying to get the switch back on the exit of turn 1, looks to the outside. Kostanov, I'm sure, will park it on the apex. He does, almost having to square off the corner, and the Bear again closing. But that, I think, we've seen that a couple of times now, where these drivers, they're taking liberties by pushing these guys towards the pit wall. And Chris de Jong gone as well, so he's disappeared. 2 cars lost in 1 lap, that's rather a shame. So we're down to 20 runners still, but I'm not sure. I mean, what do you think, Nick? Do you think these moves towards the pit wall are a bit too much? We've seen a couple now, which looked a bit kind of borderline, I'd say.
I think Lebert was getting opportunistic there, because Kostanov left just enough of a gap, and he saw it available to him, and he wanted to take it, and Kostanov closed it right at the very last moment, and Lebert had to flip back left, but Lebert clearly had superior pace over Kostanov at the moment. He's getting very close to him going up towards turn 10. Crucial to get a good run through here. Last time Lebert did lock up from Kostanov, so it's a better exit for Lebert. All about turn 11 now, who can get in and out of here quickly. The front of that twister once again is working well. Kostanov with a good exit though. Very strong exit there from Dion Kostanov. That's worked nicely for him, and I think he's going to be able to defend off into NGK. Yes, he is. Again, very, very close. Nearly nudging him round, in fact. So it looks like the Crown 7 Netrex has good straight line speed. The Twister Racing has the better braking. So, can he get off the final corner? Yes, he can. That's a good run out of the final corner. Now let's see if it will be the same again going past the pit lane exit. No, it's not this time. Oh, he went to defend, but Lebert wasn't there. Lebert wasn't even close to getting there, in fact. So, Kostanov defended and probably didn't really need to that time round, because Lebert didn't quite reach him. So Lebert's getting all over the back of Kostanov, but at the moment still can't get by. And Gergo Baldi is 4 seconds further down the road. Where's Jack Keithley in all this? He's 1.3 seconds back. Malachi's a further second back. And Van Starkenberg's a 1.8 back.
What's interesting is that DeWitt hasn't really made any progress. Well, I say that, he's just gone past Blair Disley to turn 3, so he must have heard me. But what's interesting, Patrick DeWitt hasn't really made much progress since his pit stop.
Might be on the hards now.
Yes, that's a good point. He may be on the hards now, so he's possibly switched his strategy. So he's done a double stint of softs, and maybe he's on a double stint for hards, maybe. That's his 3 stops out of the way then. So that's quite intriguing how he split his strategy. But he's down in 10th, and he's now got to try and make up a gap of about 5 seconds now to Franz Schneider ahead in 9th. So keep an eye on that one.
Looks like Mark Godek's just got by Diaz, and the Paddler is about to challenge Diaz for, this is all over 16th place, going through turns 5 and 6 here. But Godek, I believe, has got by him, and now, yeah, the Paddler's coming at him. Carlos Martin, he's still going, but 21 seconds off the pace further back down the road. Thomas Mundy, he's also going at the moment as well. He's in 19th place, and it's further 10 seconds back from Martin. And Giuseppe Marconi further 20 seconds back, so he's going still. And Zuhait's Cabo and Chris de Jong are the only current retirements.
Absolutely, back to that for 4th, and again, Kostanov goes to the pit wall. And because Kostanov's exit of the NGK chicane went too deep initially, but still, again, Kostanov holding that inside line. And the Bears, that's not going to stop him round the outside when he hold it. Kostanov's pushing him. He's just about getting away with that one, and the Bear again holds it inside turn 4. Oh, that was close. The Bear just had to back out of it and save his nose. And look at Keithley, look, he's really closed in. They need to fit. 6th now. The Bear up the inside towards turn 5. But again, just can't find his way past on the inside. Then Keithley getting himself into the mix now, and he's spotting a chance to take 2 places.
These guys have battled quite heavily, and it's allowed Keithy, in fact, it's allowed all of those guys behind. Keithy's closed up, Malachi's closed up, and Van Starkenburg's closed up, and up the inside goes Keithy, but LeBear is superior on the traction, looks like, out the exit of the hairpin there, and holds the position, but Jack Keithy now looks the one menacing on the back of that Twister racing car, and in fact they've dropped off from where Kostadinov is, up towards turn 10. Giuseppe Marconi just in front of them, back marker. But Kostadinov, and yeah, look, Bowley's even pulled away. Oh, very wide from Kostadinov in 11 there. He's going to have a bad exit. And LeBear's going to close in on Kostadinov again. But Jack Keithy, the one that's coming at them at the moment. Where's Edward Malorky? 7/10 behind Keithy. Van Starkenburg just 1.2 behind now, so that's working out. Oh, we've had another retirement. That's really the power, unfortunately. Oh, Kostadinov's had a moment over the chicane. That's allowing LeBear. Will he got the inside at the hairpin? No, he won't. Oh, yes, he will. Wow, look at the speed he carried through the hairpin there. Side by side, what's going to happen with Keithy? Here we go, Scott. This is going to be on for 3 wide again. They're going to get right out to the pit. Whoa, 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 whoa. Very, very close. Keithy's by. And he is by LeBear.
Surely
up the side of Kostadinov. No.
Look at Malorky as well.
LeBear's going to come back at him, but he can't get the job done. So Keithy goes up a position. Great drive from Jack Keithy there. He's by LeBear, and now he's got to try and get past Kostadinov while the two Twister Racing drivers start battling between each other. And look, Van Starkenburg's there now as well.
I wonder if Keithy's going to make this pass in one swift move and just go, there you go, Samuel, that's how you do it. Rather than getting stuck behind him for a few laps. I'm pretty sure Samuel, if that happens, will be absolutely seething in that cockpit. He's just lost another place, and now he probably going to have to watch while Jack Keithy performs a move that he's been trying to do for quite a few laps now. But that was pretty close stuff on the exit of the hairpin there. Great stuff from LeBear. And then Keithy just took advantage, and that was very close. How they all had to sort themselves out, and somehow they kept it off the pit wall.
Insane. This is 5 drivers over 4th position. Keithy again getting very close to Kostadinov. Let's see what the Precision Motorsports car is like in straight line in comparison to the Crown 7 Netrex, because we've already seen that LeBear was not able to get close enough in the slipstream because of how superior straight line speed that car is. Keithy's getting close, and again it looks like he can't get quite close enough. I think. Oh wow! Again, Kostadinov's had a slight mistake. Oh, dives off to the right hand side to defend the line. He has defended the line. This should give the exit though to Keithy. Oh right, mate. Malachi's pitted. Thank you for that, Scott. And again now, Keithy and Kostadinov going towards turn 1. Good straight line speed here for the Precision car. They're side by side into turn 1. Can he go around the outside? Kostadinov has defended once already. He's defended again, and Kostadinov has defended from Keithy. Now very deep in turn 2. Can he get the cut back? No. Kostadinov held the apex well that time. So still, Keithy and LeBear cannot get by, and Van Starkenburg is now there also.
This will be quite crucial. Malorky's exiting 10th, but in plenty of clean air. So that's going to be quite crucial to see if we can get the undercut on these guys if they're going to stop soon, which I'm not 100% sure if they will, but we'll keep an eye on that one. Still, this 4-car scrap goes on, and now LeBear finds himself, he was in a Netrex sandwich, now he finds himself at a GT Omega sandwich because he's got Keithy in front.
Malachi in clean air as well.
Yes, that's what I just mentioned.
Oh,
sorry, that's all right. So Kostadinov still holding on. This is brilliant stuff from Kostadinov, how he's fended off lap after lap, attack after attack from first LeBear, and then Keithy. And Keithy's having a look towards RTL. Can't get it through, done there. But again, Kostadinov takes the wider line. That's technically the racing line. Keithy opted for a tighter run through that corner. Off the exit of Varsteiner. Look at that. It's almost like a millipede or a catapede. Catapede, I don't know what I'm saying.
Catapede. Anyway, interesting one.
I don't even know what I'm saying, but never mind about that. Here comes Keithy. Yes, does it. And look at that. And Keithy says, as I said, that, Samuel, is how you do it. And Samuel thinks, oh, forget that, I'm going to the pits. And look at that. Kostadinov just cuts in front of him. So it's the pits.
That's a dream. That's a dream for GT Omega, because Keithy got by, gone through, and Van Starkenburg's carried on as well. So that's Keithy in 4th, Van Starkenburg in 5th, with Kostadinov and LeBear in pit lane.
And how annoyed is LeBear right now? He spent all that time trying to get past Kostadinov, sees Keithy do it in practically one move, effectively, and then going to pits, and Kostadinov just jumps in front of him, and he hasn't even got past him on the exit through the stops. LeBear must be absolutely... And look at Malorky's jumped both
Malachi's
of them.
I was about to say, Malachi's got him, and
Schneider as well.
Yeah, LeBear's actually fallen behind Schneider, and Schneider... Is LeBear a bit of a tardy pit stop again there?
Let me just have a look for you. I'll have a look. I'm not sure if he did.
Yeah. I'm not sure, but he lost quite a bit of time in terms of Kostadinov there. They were quite close on entry to pit lane. He looks like he's fallen back to about about a second behind, with Schneider in the middle of them, and Maliki is further 1.3 seconds in front of Kostadinov.
I think it was purely he could have got away sooner. I think again it was a case of waiting for Kostadinov to go past, because pretty much just he was about to go, Kostadinov swept past, so that's probably the reason why. So there wasn't a stall or anything. Probably just didn't want to have an unsafe release, I think.
Yeah, he's having a bit of nightmare with pit stops here. It's really cost him. The amount of traffic they come out into, and it's fed well for Precision at the moment, and GTMA currently. Game on between Schneider and Kostadinov, though, by the looks of it, over 8th and 9th, as Maliki is 1.2 seconds down the road. And Schneider's getting very close to the Crown 7 Netrex, and he pulls out into the NGK chicane. Can he get around the outside of him? No, he can't. So Kostadinov holds position.
And look at the bear.
And the bear is ready to pounce. And the amount of speed he carried through there was insane.
I know. That's incredible. I thought, so just steady on, Sammy. I know you're excited, but just calm it down. You're on fresh tyres. You can see his blood's up. He's thinking, right, I'm not having any more of this. And he's now going to pounce on an innocent Frank Schneider. There he goes. Look at that, with authority as well. So the bear is just absolutely on it. I think Kostadinov has annoyed him so much that he's got a personal vendetta on him now. I think. I'm not surprised if he hasn't. Let's have a look into turn 3. Holds it nicely. So now they're both on fresh time. Let's see who manages them more effectively. Kostadinov is now in clear air and chasing off teammate Malorqui, who, as we said, has jumped them both in the pit stops. And what's intriguing is that what was the top 5 I predicted? Huis, Calames, Baldi, Keithley and Van Starkenberg. And look how it's turned out right now as Huis actually dives in. So race leader Bono Huis in for his second stop at the end of lap 35. Lap 36, sorry. So this possibly, I would have thought, is going to be another set of hard tyres. And
Calame's also in.
Yeah, so I wonder, 24 laps. Is that doable until the end, do you think, on hard tyres? Or will he have to stop again, do you reckon? Do you reckon he's going to bookend it?
Well, let's see when he gets last pitted. Oh, yeah, comfortably by the looks of it, in fact. Yeah, that should get you to the end absolutely fine.
Not a problem then, so that should be good. So if we
Calames is in also, as Baldi has carried on.
Past.
And Huis has got a 4.8 second advantage over him, so Calames comes out. Where's Keithley? That's absolutely fine for the Precision and the GT Omega as they head into turn 1. This has worked out quite well for Keithley and Van Starkenberg, as we said before. Interestingly, here's a question for you, Scott. With how these guys have been racing, the two Twister guys, that is, sorry, I would have thought LeBert would have been the man to stop first and get the undercut, rather than Maliki, because Maliki's got an undercut and come out in front of the pair of them and got a nice little buffer. I thought Twister would have done that the other way around, to be honest with you.
It is interesting because, of course, LeBert was quicker in qualifying. He was quicker in warm-up and in practice. He was top in practice. He was top by some 0.4 of a second, so that is quite intriguing. But then again, Malorqui, I guess it might be a case of the fact that Malorqui maybe gets priority because maybe something as simple as the fact he's been in the team longer. I'm not quite sure because, granted, LeBert's the quicker driver, but effectively, at the moment, even though he's had been away for 3 years, he still could be seen as this season, in fact, as the newbie. It's only his second race back, so Malorqui knows the car, he knows the circuits. He's been around here much longer than LeBert has in recent times. So, and maybe Malorqui kind of saw it as an opportunity. Thought, well, if those guys are going to swabble, maybe it was a decision by Malorqui himself, possibly, to undercut and try and gain something. And it has worked. So, but really, that and also the fact you have to remember the fact also that the Bear was stuck behind both Keithley and Kostadinov as they were battling. So that all those factors have to come into it. So, but it is intriguing. I think that Malorqui, he did something not similar, but he did something pretty intriguing when it was.
Calames is back in pit lane.
Yeah. That's after both speeches because I'm not quite sure why he's done that. Maybe Jaakko, or we can get some information from Mikko as to why that's happened. But he's back out and he's actually feeding up right in the battle. We've got Stadnoff and LeBert, and he's like right in between it. And that is as if LeBert didn't have enough problems. Look at that. And Aaron Ivar Calames has just slotted himself right in front of the Twister racing car, and LeBert will be absolutely livid.
Scott, I've actually just found out why. Thank you to my team manager, Andre Kinchman, there. Apparently, Ivar Calames, he didn't change his tyres in the stock.
You are joking.
So he came into pit lane. The one thing he needed was tyres, and he didn't change the tyres. I don't know if that was a glitch or a human error. But yeah, Ivar Calames has not changed his tyres, so he's come out and in 6th position, and apparently, yeah, it was an error, a glitch there. So Calamies, that's so unfortunate for Calamies. Championship leader, of course, as well. So that's not really worked out for Calamies, and neither has it really worked out for Precision at the moment. But that's put Gergo Baldi in second place.
It has. And you can tell Nick's a happy boy because his favourite driver's up into second now, which is pretty good. That could be a great result for him, though, actually, in general, because and good for FSR as well, because Gergo Baldi, excuse me, has a pretty good season last year with Netrex. Of course, moved to Brem GP, which is, of course, a subsidiary team of Netrex. And a great job so far, and he has been able to, some paces, even on worn tyres, compared to Bonnewies on fresh tyres, he's been able to pretty much match or stay close to the gap that Weiss is managing, which is quite interesting. In fact, I'm wondering. Because Weiss is going to have to go to the end, and Baldi, the gap's coming down slightly. I've noticed that. It was about 10 seconds. Oh,
it's just gone up now. And remember also that Baldi, Keithley, Van Starkenberg have all gone soft tyres yet. Also,
that's true. Just looking quickly, and Van Starkenberg and Calames isn't hanging around. He's already on. He dispatched to Kostadinov, and he's already on the back of Milwaukee into turn 5. So Calames has got the hurry up. And has obviously been told, okay, push like hell, and that's exactly what he's doing because he's right on
like
the back.
Hell. Something like that, anyway.
Yeah, I wasn't quite sure Calames was Italian, but there you go.
He is now.
He is now. Yeah. Calames into 5th then. Easy. That's pretty simple pass there into Delmont Curve. And now the challenge is, and what's interesting is that now the top 4, of course, it's Precision Cars 1st, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. So I wonder how courteous, if you can catch them, Van Starkenberg and Keithley are going to be. Because of course, remember, effectively Calames is going to be able to run to the end as is Bonnewies on those tyres. Now he's got 21 odd laps to go in this one, so that should be fairly easy. These two have got a pit, so these two GT Mega cars will pretty much move out of the way once they're done. Make their fast one. As Lebert, all side by side with Kostadinov. Kostadinov forced to go over the inside of the chicane again. Well, was that DeWitt? I'm not sure that was one of those two Netrex cars did that. Kostanov's not giving up though, and it's these two all over again. And Lebert's thinking, what do I have to do to get you out of my way, Deanne? And again, side by side, Schneider 3 wide, and Lebert tries to cover it, and he thinks he's made up one place, and he could be losing another place, and he has. Or maybe not.
Oh wow, what a move from Schneider. That's got the inside and around the outside at the next corner. Good job, Franz Schneider. That was beautiful. Ghost Speed will be absolutely thrilled with what they've just seen from that driver there. Yeah, Franz Schneider with a great move around the outside of that twister car. The twister's going to come right back out him towards turn 5 and ping it up the inside and over the curb as well, but can't get it done. So Schneider goes through. Kostadinov's now going to challenge Lebert down towards turn 7, I would have thought. He's got a good run from 6. Lebert's going to defend that line to save his life and not make sure Kostadinov will not go back in front of him. He's done that. He's gone deep, and Kostadinov's through. So Kostadinov has got that position back, and Lebert must be tearing his hair out with Kostadinov at the moment.
It's just by thinking, he must be thinking it must have been a nightmare or something. Just everything he's tried, he has not been able to get rid of Kostadinov. He gets past him, and someone else takes advantage and takes both of them. He can't get past him in the pit stops. Can't get past him on track. And if he does get past them, 2 corners later, he makes a mistake and gives the pace back again. And yeah, Jaakko's Mikkonen, our broadcast director, made a very good point. Brake wear is actually pretty low, but he's been driving most of the race behind the other car, so that's not really going to be doing his brake cooling too good. So I wonder maybe if that's the case, will he have any brakes left by the time this is finished? Because he hasn't really had very much clear air all race, to be fact. He's been stuck behind cars as Kostadinov lines up Schneider down towards the opening corner. The Bear's trying to follow him through. Ooh, that was his own doing, really. That was slight desperation there from the Bear. He locked the rears, clouted the inside curve, and lost the rear end a little bit. But he's kept in close proximity to both Schneider and Kostadinov. And the Bear effectively will want this race to end now, not because he'll be 2 points, because he's fed up with it.
Yeah, that's probably true. Actually, he's probably absolutely had enough of this race at this point in time, anyway. But there's still a lot to unfold here, with a lot of drivers yet to make their second stop. Those drivers that will need to make their second stops are Gergo Baldi. He will have to go into softs, as will Jack Keithley, as will Rob Van Starkenberg. Ivan Calamies has obviously made 3 pit stops, but that one was due to that technical glitch. It cost him not changing his tyres, essentially, which has dropped him back into 5th place. Championship leader having a bit of a nightmare there after what has been a very, very strong race for him. and was looking very encouraging for him. But he's pulled well away, 5 seconds in front of Edward Maliki now. And yeah, Kostadinov, Schneider's by Lebert. Is that right? Kostadinov, yeah. I thought Kostadinov just dived in.
Oh, Schneider's in. Schneider's dived in.
Kostadinov going back, and Schneider's gone back through now, so he's going for his final stop, that should be.
Well, Schneider was in front of both these guys anyway. Oh, no. Schneider was in front of them because he made that three-way pass into the hairpin. And then as soon as Lebert made that mistake, Kostadinov got him back down to the hairpin a lap later.
Yeah. So I got confused because I saw him diving in. I was thinking, what's going on there? That's Schneider. So he's now behind. Oh, that's Marconi. So that's okay. That's a back marker. So he's behind 3 seconds behind Blair Disley. Mark Olberts is a further 17 back down the road. So Franz Schneider on this. Well, that's been 3 stops, hasn't it? That's soft. Now hard to the end. You would have thought 20 laps to the end.
It's doable. It's easily doable. So it's not surprising.
Hard to the end, and he's got to chase down Disley and Lapchan and DeWitt. Yeah, again, like you said though, DeWitt's not made much more impression on the race after his that'd be 3rd stop, wasn't it? So yeah, he's not really made much of an impression at the moment.
Hard tyre's obviously not working for him. He prefers the softs, it seems. That's the tyre he likes. So I wonder though, on these soft tyres, I wonder if he'll do this. I wonder if he'll try and stay as long as he can on the hards. And I wonder just to try him for a sprint. I wonder if he'll go. What if he'll try even soft, hard, soft? Would that work? I'm not even sure it would, but
it would work. It's a bit of an odd strategy to do, but it does work. I don't think it's the quickest way though.
No. Well, he's down in 9th. I mean, the gap he's got 9 seconds in front. Well, about 8.7 seconds to the bear in front, and the bear's still, again, kind of, getting frustrated behind his teammate and whatnot. So. Again, DeWitt's hasn't really enjoyed this pit stint. He's pretty much in what we call no man's land. He's got Lapchan Disney fairly close behind, but not close in any way to challenge. And the bear and Kostadinov are a little bit too far up the road anyway. So really, DeWitt's kind of on his own at the moment.
I'll tell you who is on his own is Boniface. Not so much by him in a while. Yeah, 16.4 seconds in front of Gergo Boldy and just cruising along. 131.822. He's done his fastest lap of the race. Boldy is just cruising around 8.2 seconds. 8.2 seconds still in front of Jack Keithy as well.
And what one thing to remember, of course, Gergo Boldy's still got to make another stop. So remember that lead's going to get even bigger when Boldy pits.
Boldy will have to pit. Keithy will have to pit. Van Starkenburg will have to pit. Calamies doesn't have to pit, so he should go forwards. Maliki doesn't have to pit because he pitted for those final round of hard tyres.
So that gap's going to be around 30 seconds or so, and that's incredible. I say it's incredible. That's a typical Boniface race usually, isn't it? If you release him, if you let him go and then just run at his own pace, which is always 100% pretty much, then if we just it's typical of him sometimes. If you get him in his element, he will have about 30-second leaders. We've seen Thomas Mundy's finally dropped out of the race. We're now down to 18 cars left in this race, but yeah, Boniface extending that gap by a couple of tenths a sector. So that's pretty intriguing to see. I'm pretty sure that's going to be around about 30 seconds plus by the time Varga and the rest of the other guys pit. So really, I guess unless something dramatic happens, like he disconnects or makes a mistake, which is pretty rare for one of us to do that, I guess really we can let him be and focus on what's going on behind, really, I suppose.
Yeah, Schneider on Disley. This is Schneider on fresher tyres, coming up the inside of Disley, and they're both on Lapchan as well, quite close to Yannick Lapchan. So Schneider's getting very, very close to Disley. Oh, Disley, big slide there in turn 2. Oh, contact there. I don't think that was actually Disley intentionally doing that. He got a slide on and actually put his car right in front of Schneider, but Schneider got a good exit there, and Schneider goes up into 11th place. And I think Disley's starting to really battle with tyres there.
And Lapchan's not too far away, so Franz Schneider could be looking at in his standing race for Morgan Moran, because that is Morgan Moran's car. You can tell whether they don't really get a chance to change helmets, so effectively that is Morgan Moran's helmet. Morgan Moran actually sporting the golden Michael Schumacher helmet. He's been had that for a while, and he uses that because that's a preferred design for him. But that is Morgan Moran's car, so Franz Schneider's pedaling a very fast machine, and he's coming up onto the back of Yannick Lapchan. So Schneider in very good contention for his standing race here, not only making a great impression, but he could even score himself a couple of points here, and that's very well deserved. He's putting some brilliant overtakes and some great Great driving so far. And in fact, if he isn't with a chance to get some points, I'll say good on him because he really does deserve them.
Yeah, Woodwiss is the way though, with an 18-second advantage over Gergo Baldi. 7 seconds now as a gap between Baldi and Keithley. Looks like Keithley's pace is coming towards him. Van Starkenberg's 3.4 seconds behind Keithley. Calamise is closed right up on Van Starkenberg, and I don't foresee anything big happening there. Maliki is in 6th position with Kostadinov in 7th. Lebert still behind Kostadinov. And DeWitt is 9.7 seconds further back down the road. Rounding out the top 10 is Franz Schneider after making that pass on Blair Disley, who has just made his pit stop. Yank Lachin in 11th. Disley's come out now and should have cleared Alberts. Yes, he has.
So he's effectively, we didn't see that, Schneider has just passed Lapchan. Because he's just passed.
Oh, yes,
we were talking about getting past, and whilst we right into the top 10, he's made that pass, so he's actually got it over and done with, which is pretty impressive. So Schneider on his way. Next target's the rather forlorn Patrick DeWitt, who's kind of all on his own. And
forlorn, like that.
I was about to say forever alone, but I thought not quite sure how that's going to slot in there. But he'll have some company in a minute from Franz Schneider. Probably not the best company because he's probably going to have himself relieved of 9th place pretty soon. But we'll have to wait and see with that one. But meanwhile, speaking of company, Samuel Lebert still cannot get rid of Dan Kostadinov. That's going to be a talking point of the race, isn't it? Lebert starts on the front row and then is stuck momentarily for ages behind Kostadinov. I don't know why, but I'm getting the thought of this reminds me of David Coulthard back in either 2001 or 2002 when he got. Well, it can't be 2002 because I'm pretty sure he won 2002. Yeah, he won 2002 in Monaco. 2001 when he got stuck behind Enrico Benoldi for like some 40 odd laps and then finally got past him when Benoldi pitted, I believe. So this is kind of a similar scenario, is that the Bear cannot get rid of this Netrex in front of him, no matter how hard he tries.
Interesting though, Maliki's not really pulled away from them, even though these guys have been battling. Maliki's not really pulled away, so you'd have to say Kostadinov's and Lebert's pace has been solid enough to not let Maliki disappear down the road. Maliki's, he's 8.4 seconds up the road as Rob Van Starkenberg, so that's worked out for the GTA Mega Drive there at the moment. And I've just realised, obviously, Ivar Calamise has now passed Van Starkenberg as well. So that's released Calamise. He can now chase down Jack Keithley. 3.4 seconds is the gap to Jack Keithley from Ivar Calamise. We'll have to wait and see how this one sorts itself out. 7 seconds still the gap though between Gergo Baldi in second place for Brem GP and Jack Keithley.
Schneider's getting closer. What's the gap now as I look at it, trying to work it out at the moment? It is 1.2 seconds now. It's getting forever closer. So DeWitt is now having company, but probably not one that he's going to enjoy very much, and probably not one he'll very see much of either, because Schneider's probably going to very swiftly relieve DeWitt of his 9th place. Which is a shame because DeWitt, but as he passing Malonqui? Yes, he no, he hasn't. Well, he hasn't just yet.
Lebert looks like he's got a run on Kostadinov going towards turn 1. Kostadinov defends. Wow, look at that sideways from Kostadinov. That's beautiful. He just went completely sideways through turn 1 and held the position. So Kostadinov still in front of Lebert. Oh no! That was Lebert getting too over ambitious going towards turn 3. And he tried to pull out, but Kostadinov was there, and he's hit him. He's out. Lebert is out. I suspect that there's some damage there for Kostadinov, but that was all on the shoulders of Lebert, who probably just got too angry, and he's pinged it up the inside and gone straight over the back, stalled the engine. Kostadinov's got away, but game over for Lebert. So Twister Racing have lost one car, and it's only Maliki that's left now. Disaster there for Samuel Lebert. Scott, honestly, that's got to be just pure frustration in the end.
Well, it was a nightmare race anyway, and I don't think he wants to end it in that. I know he said if he wanted to end the race to end now, but I'm pretty sure that wasn't literally what we meant in terms of ending it that way. One thing I've got to wonder is that was a pretty hard, hefty whack that Kostadinov took in the rear. I wonder, is there damage that Kostadinov's suffering there? Because I wonder if he seems to have got away with it for the moment, but wouldn't surprise you if there's some kind of rear suspension damage at least, or something that's damaged at the rear of that car, because I can't believe that Netrex car's got away with from that unscathed. There has to be some kind of damage that he suffered, but he seems to be okay for the moment. Meanwhile, Franz Schneider has got past DeWitt, which is now for 8th place, now with the demise of Samuel Lebert. So this is looking pretty good. That's now on course for 3 championship points for Franz Schneider. So it has all changed now. but unfortunately that is, and also it's put Yannick Lapstein into the top 10 now, into 10th, so that's looking pretty good for him to take a point away from Pescara. 13 laps, 1 lap 48, so there's 13 laps to go now.
I think Kasanov's having quite a lot of issues because he just had a bit of a moment in turn 1.
And again, turn 2.
Yeah, sideways. So I think he is suffering
wrist suspension damage.
Yeah, some pretty significant damage here. Now, how far Schneider? 6 seconds down the road. He'll start to close in, but I do believe that's quite a lot of damage there for Kostadinov. And De Witt's not too far behind Schneider either, so this might be a bit of a shake-up yet still. So Kostadinov, oh dear me. I'm sure Crown 7 Networks are going to have big things to say about the Twister Racing car driver there of Samuel Lebert. They're not going to be happy at all, and as long as Kostanov's essentially now just got to try and limp this car home and understand where the damage is and see if we can do anything about it. It's a bit of that's unfortunate there. Oh, here we go. Third place man Jack Keithley diving into pit lane, going for some new tyres. Ivar Calamis carries on. And so does Rob Van Starkenburg, but Jack Keithley's dived in for some new tyres. So
this will be for softs.
Yeah, this will be a switch over for some soft tyres that obviously he's required to take. So this is a mandatory stop. Jack Keithley dives in, and he will go on to the soft tyres, and this will get him to the end of the race, and he's going to have to chase down Edward Malachy, and Kostanov is quite a way behind. So Malachy is 2 seconds in front of Jack Keithley, but Jack Keithley is on much less fuel and on fresh, soft tyres. That's a bit of a dream, that.
I feel like he's on a qualifying run and possibly if you're that low. Probably, well, not that low, but there we go. Keithley then is going to help them with Milwaukee, so that's probably going to be any easy pickings, I would have thought. Because Milwaukee's not as desperate, I'd say, at the moment as Lebert was. A bit more of a sensible, more calculated driver is Milwaukee.
Race leader in pit lane. Bonnehuis is diving into pit lane.
Speaking again, I wonder if this is for softs. Because I wonder if it is bookending it.
Yeah. This would be for soft tyres. I'll dive in, get some soft tyres, and go back out again.
And what's a go Baldi as well?
Baldi. Well, he'll carry on. He's got to come and get some tyres soon, though. I think he's going to carry. Yeah, he's carried on.
Yeah, carried on.
So Huis is away now. Ivar Calamis, will he come in again and get some more tyres himself? I believe he will. Yes, he is. There we go. Ivar Calamis comes into pit lane. The fourth chip-free pit lane for Calamis to get some more tyres. Wow! Huge oversteer on the entry of pit lane there also. But in the pit lane he comes for Calamis. And Van Starkenburg is also in. So he's pitted now. Malachy carries on and is being hunted down by Jack Keithley. Now, where will these guys come out in relation? Van Starkenburg is hitting his box now, and Calamis is away behind Keithley. Yeah, fifth place. Again, some soft tyres, and they're both on a heavy, hard charge after the Twister Racing car of Malachy, who currently sits in the final podium spot. Kostadinov is through, Schneider is through. Van Starkenburg now is going to be hunting down Schneider, and it's come out just in front of Patrick de Witt, in fact. But those soft tyres should help him out significantly.
We're pretty easy for Bonnehuis to the finish because effectively Bonnehuis got out and still had plenty of a lead over Gergo Baldi. So Baldi stops.
Baldi probably wants to pit fairly soon.
Got a duel between Milwaukee and Keithley because Keithley has caught on those soft tyres. We talked about this. Keithley's caught Milwaukee, and now the duel's on for effectively for on track. This is for the podium because Keithley's now battling. This is for on track. This is for a podium place. Milwaukee doesn't have to make a stop. Neither is Keithley. He's on those fresh tyres, and Calamis is there too as well.
Baldi's pitted. So this is his final stop. He needs to come and get these tyres, and these guys are battling out on track. This will help during his pit stop. To the outside goes Jack Keithley up towards NGK. He's got that job done already. On those soft tyres, up into third place goes Jack Keithley. Malachy's down to fourth. Calamis is not that far behind. Baldi is away. How far is he away? Oh, wow.
Easy.
Yeah, this should be all right. Off the pit lane speed limiter now. Baldi goes into turn 1. And he's on 1 lap fresher tyres. 2 lap fresher than Jack Keithley, in fact. So, Baldi is away and still in second place. Keithley in third. Malachy in fourth. Calamis in fifth, closing in on Malachy. Kostadinov is in sixth. Schneider seventh. Van Starkenburg is closing in on Schneider at a rate of knots as well.
We said it, didn't we? The race is only going to come alive in the last 15 laps, and that premonition is proving true, because looks to me as if first and second is pretty much settled for the moment, although Keithley's isn't too far behind.
3.2, but Baldy has 2 laps fresher tyres.
That is true, and Calamaze is right at the back of Woodwiss now. So this is for fourth, exiting Dunlop curve, and Woodwiss definitely struggling on those what appear to be those hard compound tyres. Calamaze on fresh softs.
Yeah, and he's got the inside of 10, is he? Oh, here we go. Here's a move up inside of 10. So he didn't even bother with 11 and all the run-ups to NGK. He thought, nah, I got to get this done, and he's done it already. And he's now 2 seconds behind Jack Keithley. Now that might be a direct scrap over the podium. They may battle for the podium. Championship leader, remember, also. Now where's Gergo Baldy? Gergo Baldy is only 2.8 seconds, so he's lost a bit of time. So this could really squeeze up for the final spots, well, for 2 spots on the podium potentially. Carlos Martin's the man in front of Baldy at the moment. He's the lap traffic, and Woodwiss is 25 seconds down the road from Baldy. 25 seconds.
And that's only going to get bigger, because we know Woodwiss on those fresher soft tyres, that's only going to increase. So it's pretty simple that we are probably going to see Woodwiss win by at least 30 seconds, which is incredible. But again, that's typical of a dominant Woodwiss drive, pretty much. And I was going to look at my live time, but it has slightly frozen, I think, a little bit. I need to reset it a little bit, but have a look. But let's have a look. I want to see if he's got the fastest lap of the race to get the Grand Slam. Yes, he has. 1 minute 30 point. In fact, the last time Rowdy did that, 1:30.862. But Calamaze is flying along. He set the fastest first. No, that was last lap. Sorry. Yeah, Woodwiss is looking for the Grand Slam here, pretty much leading every single lap, pole position, and the race victory. So, and fastest lap. So he's looking for everything. And this is another typical Woodwiss dominant victory, as we said. Keithley is really starting to reel in Baldy, because the gap is now 2 seconds exactly. So this is looking pretty intense now. In fact, I think it's gone up now. I think yes, it has. It's 2.4 now. Calamaze is really closing in. So I remember, even though they're sister teams, there's still competition in the point standings. So Keithley will put up a fight to Calamaze, even though they are practically in the same stable, if you like, GT Omega and Precision Motorsports. So that is going to. It's not going to be a case of Keithley just saying, "On you go, Ivar, take third place." Keithley will defend that. So that's going to be quite good. And also Baldy's he's going to keep pushing on. He is on fresher tyres by a couple of laps at least.
Yeah, he's just a good lap as well. 31.9, 30. That's worked nicely there for Baldy. 31.9, but then Jack Keithley did a 31.2. So yeah, it's 30.4 like you said from Woodwiss as well. So he's starting to close. It's 2.5 in fact there. So better set to 1 here from Baldy, I believe.
Yeah.
And Calamaze
30.7.
Where's Van Starkenburg? Van Starkenburg's still in 7th place.
And Kostadinov struggling. And
Schneider's pitted again, because he's down in 11th now. So Schneider's pitted again. So Van Starkenburg is now... Oh, now is he going to have the Liber effect? Because he's got to get past Dion Kostadinov.
But Kostadinov was carrying that damage, and he's affected because his lap times, compared with Woodwiss, they're running 33s on these worn-out hard compound tyres. So really, if he does catch him, then it's going to be... It's going to be easy pickings for him, because Kostadinov will put up... Well, Kostadinov, he's a very defensive driver. We've seen that a couple of times today, and also remember back in China, when it took both... Ironically, it was both the twister cars who got held up behind you. That was Tarly and Nilsson that day. They got held up behind... Both got held up behind Kostadinov that day for several laps. And it seems to be something about Kostadinov that Twister Racing don't like, or something that Twister Racing that Kostadinov doesn't like, because they always keeps holding them up. So... Gap between
31.4 there for Baldy, so he stabilised the gap at 2.4 seconds. And Ivar Calamaze is underneath a second from Keithley.
Either Woodwiss has eased off.
30.7 he's done, so he's only 3/10 slower than what Woodwiss done as the fastest lap.
That was last lap. This time around, the lap time was a little bit slower. 31.6 for Woodwiss. He's starting just to wind it down towards the end of the race, because he's got an easy run towards the flag, pretty much. Baldy with that last time, that was a 31.4 for a personal best. 31.5 for Keithley. 31.1 for Calamaze.
Van Starkenburg's all over Kostadinov now as well. Sorry there, Scott, but he's all over the back of Kostadinov, and he's 6.7 seconds back from Maliki. Up the inside, does he? Oh, wow. Turn 5. Get the exit of turn 6 down towards turn 7. He should get that sorted. Good exit here for Rob Van Starkenburg. And Kostadinov will defend. He's not going to defend after what we've seen today. Late braking. Can you swing it around the outside?
Yes, he can.
Yes, what a move. Rob van Starkenburg. He goes up into 6th position. He now has to make up some 7 seconds on Maliki
Callamaze on Keithley
in 6 laps.
Callamaze is really closed on Keith. Look at this, he's right on the gearbox of the GT Omega. Now Bowley's just got past, I think that's Carlos Martini's just lapped. Yes, it is. So Bowley's now got a bit of a gap and lap traffic in front, and Callamaze is right on the rear wing of the GT Omega onto the pit straight, and they start now lap 55. So we count towards the last 5 laps of the race. Callamaze has got to run, he's going to move to the inside. Keithley has no chance to defend. Is Keithley going to go deep, slightly sideways on the entry? But Callamaze holds the inside line for turn 2. That's the move done. Or is it? Because Keithley comes back at him. But Callamaze just parks the car right on the exit of the corner. And there's nothing Keithley can do about it for the moment. So Callamaze, great stuff. Even though he had to pit again for that mistake when the team didn't fit the tyres, he is back on the podium. So impressive stuff from Callamaze. Proves he has got the pace to live with almost match Bono, because his fastest lap time was 3/10 off. But still, impressive stuff from Callamaze to rebound from that small mistake and get himself back onto the podium. So credit where credit's due. Good job.
I totally agree with you there. That was a great move from Callamaze on the inside of turn 1, and now he's pulled a half second over Jack Keithley.
So look at the battle for 8th. Ooh. DeWitt just tried to squeeze his way up the inside of turn 5 of Lapshan. Lapshan just covered him off. Just about gave him enough room. But I'm not sure if there was almost not enough room. So look at this. Lapshan, DeWitt and Blizzly all scrapping over 8.
Yep, and Van Starkenburg's going to try and close down Maliki now, but it's 7 seconds, so I don't know if he's going to be able to get quite close enough, but it's been a good drive from Van Starkenburg, and after yesterday especially as well. So Maliki is doing a solid job at the moment in 5th place. Jack Keithley now 4th, Callamaze 3rd. So I guess now it's all about, can Callamaze close a 3-second gap to Gergo Bolby in 4 laps?
Well, last time around it was the 31.7 for Callamaze, 31.5 for Baldy, despite the fact that Baldy had to lap traffic. So, but then again, Callamaze had to battle against Keithley, so there was kind of an offset in terms of, what each driver had to contend with on that lap. So we'll have to wait and see on that one. Last time around, again, it's still updating itself on this one. So the first sectors, 29.3 from Fui, so that's the expected. He's turned it right down and he's lapping the same pace as the guys behind. 29.1 from Baldy. As it comes through, wait for it to update on my screen and my live timing. Well, pretty much exactly the same. 4 thousandths in it. 29.155 for Baldy, 29.159 for Callamaze. So Baldy at the moment is covering Callamaze off just enough to hold on to 2nd.
Yep, doing a good job at the moment, but the gap's just decreased ever so slightly as we head up towards turn 10. Obviously, Callamaze's got to negotiate Carlos Martin as well. He is a back marker at this point in time. 2.5 the gap, so yeah, Callamaze is still carrying some good speed. He's pulled out over a second on Jack Keithley. And
he's got to pass Carlos Martin. He's got to lap the back marker as well, so he's got to try and get him out of the way as well.
Oh, there we go, that's done.
That's one way of moving out of the way, I suppose. Completely missed the chicane.
Yeah, and here we go. Callamaze coming through the final corner now. It's 2.8 seconds, so I think that's probably just startled him going into the chicane there, which is no real surprise, but yeah, not too many laps left, and he's got to close that gap down to Gergo Boldy.
I'll tell you something, Van Starkenburg has got part... no, that's wrong. Kostanov's coming back at Van Starkenburg. Either that or he stayed
quite close to him. He has stayed quite close to him, but I think Van Starkenburg's got the measure currently, as Maliki sits in that 5th position, 7.5 seconds further down the road.
But what's intriguing is that Van Starkenburg appears to be lapping at similar or at the same pace as Malorqui, because the last 2 lap times around, but Malorqui was quicker. 32.4 for Malorqui, 32.9 for that was 32.9 for Van Starkenburg. So even on the soft tyre, maybe Van Starkenburg's taken too much out of them early on, and he's paying the price for it now, I would have thought. Great scrap, a train that DeWitt's leading, which is, well, it was leading, but that's Lapshan in 8th place now. DeWitt is bringing Disley and Franz Schneider along with him as well. So Franz Schneider can sniff a point here. And he's got possibly the chance, maybe, if he could get some good fortune here on lap 58. In these last kind of 2.5 laps or so. And Schneider had a huge drift on sector 1, so thanks for that, Jaakko. So he really is pushing along, and he's right on the back of Disley. So maybe this is the scrap over the final points places, 8th, 9th, and 10th. So one of these guys, one of these four, is going to have to miss out, unfortunately.
Yeah, Schneider had a bit of a moment in turn 1, and he's come up to turn 10 now on the back of Blair Disley, trying to get himself inside the top 10. This would be a point there for Go Speed Racing. And at the moment, that gap between Baldy and Kellerme is still 2.5 seconds. So it's all about these lower end points at the moment. And where is Schneider? He's gone around the outside of Disley, and he has put the Go Speed up into the top 10. Good job, Franz Schneider. That's unfortunate for Blair Disley. He's had a great day by across Positive Sim Racing. A wonderful job he has done today, but he's currently sitting in 11th and no points. And Schneider now. Oh, here we go. DeWitt on Lapchan going into turn 1. Can he get it done? DeWitt's on the inside. Yes. No. Lapchan comes back. Holds that outside line for Pescara and gets the job done and holds DeWitt back. But I suspect DeWitt will come back at him in the Crown 7 Networks.
It's good stuff. It's good. These guys are getting desperate for these final points. And Schneider, look at this. I've said this so many times that the harder these two fight each other, the easier it's going to be for the guys around to capitalise, especially Schneider. Because the longer DeWitt gets held up behind Lapchan and tries to overtake, it's only going to allow Schneider just to close in, keep closing, and all of a sudden he'll find himself in 8th if Lapchan and DeWitt aren't too careful. DeWitt again trying to dive up the inside, went a little too deep, but managed to get it stopped in time. But Lapchan making it pretty difficult. Oh, and a big twitch there from Lapchan. Oh, and Disley's had a moment as well on the grass in the background. So lost traction. Oh, and DeWitt's been forced to the inside by Lapchan. Now that was very forceful from Lapchan there, really pushing DeWitt to the outside of the track there. DeWitt, if there were hand signals FSR, he'd be gesticulating madly at Lapchan. I'm pretty sure he's doing that right now as he's to himself with DeWitt. Does the dummy down towards the entry chicane. Contact! Oh, Lapchan's got a cross. Oh, and Schneider's hit Lapchan! Oh, that is absolute. Oh no, I don't believe that. Schneider was on course for points.
That's Go Speed with no points, but it's put Blair Disley back up though. So Bycross Positive Sim Racing could get a few points here, especially if DeWitt and Lapchan keep battling. Oh, that was horrible though between DeWitt and Lapchan. Completely sideways that Lapchan was after DeWitt tried to go up the inside, and Schneider tried to capitalise, but in the process of doing it, took his front wing off, unfortunately.
But what it was, look at the replays, that DeWitt just, he brake late locked up, and that hit the side of Lapchan, put Lapchan sideways over the curb, and it just left Schneider with nowhere to go. He was the innocent party, and that is going to be such cruel luck. He will get 7th, he will get 11th as Bono Huis goes, he exits the pits as Bono Huis goes on to start his final lap. So he is on the final lap to win this. Schneider will come out 11th, but he's
1.4 splits Baldy and Calamy.
Oh, this is going to be quite key as we've lost Peter Varga in the process. So he's had a pretty rough day today, unfortunately. But it's not over between DeWitt. Really pushing at the moment as well. It really is. Gap's down to, what is it now? It's 1.4 now between Calamays and Baldy. On to the last lap. So, Calamays, you've got one more tour of the Nurburgring circuit to close down 1.4 seconds. Can you do it? Big lock up from Baldy though. So maybe he's feeling the pressure, but Calamays has got the visor down and he's got the red mist, and he's going to try and push on to try and grab second. He's got a podium pretty much almost guaranteed, as DeWitt and Lapchan are still at it again in the chicane. And Disley, I think gets punted off. Oh, he spun. Now, was there contact? I'm pretty sure there was. There's a lovely little 360 and gets going again. But I'm pretty sure that the battle between Lapchan and DeWitt, I'm going to look at this back on the replay. DeWitt went to the outside, Lapchan defended, and again, DeWitt wouldn't take no for an answer, clamps the curb, and then Disley hits the back of Lapchan as a result and carries on. So he's going to keep 10th. He's way away from anyone else. So
Scott, well, that's going on. Huis come through NGK, and he's coming up to the final corner now. He's sweeping through this. It's been a dominant performance from Bono Huis, and Bono Huis wins the German Grand Prix. A superb victory for Bono Huis there. A wonderful effort, and Gergo Baldy's just 1.1 seconds in front of either Calamays. Can the Brem GP driver hold off and take an unbelievable result for himself here today?
I think he can.
Calamays has been through the pit lane a couple of times, and I had that moment with his tyres. But up to the final corner, oh, this is absolutely awesome. Brem GP and Gergo Baldy are going to score a podium. It's second place for Gergo Baldy. Awesome job. Baldy is in second place. Calamays, championship leader, is in third. Jack Keithley is in fourth. Edwin Mulkey in the sole remaining Twister Racing cars coming around the final corner now. He drives out the final corner, driving for the line now. Maliki is in 5th. Van Starkenburg is held off Kostadinov. Kostadinov had a moment, I think, there also. Starkenburg, though, comes across the line. He is in 6th position. Kostadinov, after that huge moment, he is in 7th place. Yank Lachan is going to be the man in 8th. He is indeed, because he's held off Patrick De Witt. So coming through the final corner, so Pescara get a result in 8th place. Great job, Yank Lachin. And Patrick De Witt is 9th with Blair Disley. Bicross Positive Sim Racing. This has been a great result here for Blair Disley. Unfortunately, on that last lap, had a few issues. But 10th place, Blair Disley, a great job.
Well, you cannot deny that Woodwiss has absolutely dominated the weekend here, pretty much from start to finish. Well, obviously not in the practice sessions, but he was quickest in Q1, quickest in Q. No, he wasn't quickest in Q1. He was quickest in Q2. Sorry, to take pole position, obviously. Very quickest in warm up. He's practically led every lap, fastest lap of the race, and caps it off with a victory. Great stuff. Ivar Calames as well getting a podium. Remember, of course, this means Woodwiss takes the championship lead again, because Ivar Calames is 3rd, which means that Woodwiss, I think, will have the lead by, I'm pretty sure it would be by 3 points, I'm pretty sure, because if Calames had finished 2nd, they would have been level on points, but Weiss would have been top anyway, because of race victories. Because Calames is 3rd, I believe Woodwiss will lead the championship now by 3 points, I believe, so he's now back at the top of the table. So it didn't last long, but it was nice to see someone else, apart from Weiss, all due respect to Bono, at the top of the table. Yeah, apart from that, plenty of tails down the field. I'm going to call it now. I'm pretty sure you'll probably agree with me. Weiss's drive was fantastic, but I've got to give driver of the day to Gergo Baldi. Fantastic 2nd place for him, and well deserved as well. Great job from him today.
He did an awesome job, did Weiss. You can't fault that drive that he's just had, but to get on the podium and the fashion that he's done it, the nature that he's done it, Gergo Baldi, that was
indeed
absolutely superb, and Brem GP will be over the moon with that as well. Good job, Gergo Baldi.
I'll tell you something, Jaakko Stadov said in the chat, give me back this Brem GP, because he's seen what Gergo Baldi can do to it. Now he wants it back so he can try and have a go at it. But yeah, great job, can't deny that. I think we're both unanimously agreed Gergo Baldi gets our driver of the day. Unofficial, of course, but still he gets that one.
Absolutely, and I think we're all going to need a bit of a break now, and we do have a break coming up. We just had 3 weeks off, but now we got a month off, in fact, I think it is, to be precise. It's about a 4-week gap.
Roughly, yeah.
I think it's either 3 or 4 weeks, but yeah, it's a 4-week gap until the next round, which is Hungary, and around Budapest for round 8, which should be a great race. And also we need to remember that due to the fact, obviously, the Formula 1 was today, World Trophy race for the Nurburgring will be broadcast next weekend at the usual time on Sunday. So remember to tune in for that and make sure you watch that. That's the World Trophy race, will be next Sunday at their usual time. But unfortunately, we won't be able to get any drivers in because the World Championship boys don't really like talking too much, it seems. But nevertheless, Scott, it's been one hell of a race.
Oh, tell me about it. It's been fantastic. I think, to be fair, I won't spoil anything for anyone who hasn't seen it, but I think I can safely say, I'm not sure if you probably agree with it, but I think this race has been a bit more it was a decent race, it was, I'll say that, but in some ways, this race has been a bit more entertaining than the real F1, because we've had plenty goings on. You can't deny, Woodwiss, dominant victory, dominating this weekend pretty much. Gergo Baldi was a 2nd place, well deserved for MGP. Ivar Calames fighting back after that slight glitch to take 3rd. Great stuff from him. He's lost the championship lead, but he's still up there in 2nd. Jack Keithley, another top 5 finish from him after a rocky couple of races before that. Obviously, finished 3rd at Silverstone and 4th here, so good stuff from him. Malorqui in 5th, a top 5 for Twister Racing, so well done to him. Van Starkenburg to get 6th. Jaakko Stadinov caused headaches for a lot of people today, but got 7th despite carrying, I'm pretty sure, a damaged car. Lapshan from the back of the grid to 8th. Can't get again similar drive to Blair Disley as he had in Canada. Start from the back of the grid, finish in the top 10. Well done from him. Looking back from what I can see on the live timing, De Witt was 9th. Again, he lost touch off that 2nd stop, didn't he? He couldn't make those hard tyres work. So I thought possibly what could have been slightly higher wasn't to be. And Blair Disley, point for Bicross Positive. They'll be very happy with that. Most unfortunate people of the day, I think I have to pick 2 people. In fact, one, Samuel Lebert, who just, this is a weekend he will definitely want to forget. just constantly stuck in traffic. Got a good start. That's a plus point he can take. He got a much better start than he did in the World Series and World Championship races back at Silverstone. Much better. So he has improved on that. But just luck of the draw. He got stuck in traffic. Couldn't get past. Was stuck behind Kostadinov and also stuck behind Calames in the early stint. And then I think it just all got too much for him. I think I'm not sure he did it. I'm not saying he did it completely on purpose, but it just got to the point where he just couldn't take it anymore. Tried to move. Couldn't put it off, and unfortunately he had to stall it. Second unfortunate man was Franz Schneider. If it hadn't been for the incident with a couple of laps to go between Lapshan and DeWitt, he would have got a top. He would have had points. It's so unfortunate, but he did a great job, and something I think hopefully that will give Ghost Speed some affirmation that he is quick enough to run in the World Championship. And if it gets to the point where Morand or Pushka can't attend, they'll call on him. He's plenty quick enough for the World Trophy. Won the past couple of races there. So whether or not he'll do it in Germany, we'll have to wait and see. Next weekend for the World Trophy race, we'll wait and see. But yeah, all in all, good race weekend. I'm actually quite sad we're going for a month break now. It's good to get a break, but I quite enjoy this FSR. It's not a bad season so far. We've had some great racing so far, and I think the second half of the season, with some great circuits coming up, we've got Spa coming up, Monza.
No Spa.
Of course, no Spa. That's a shame, that is. That's quite a shame. But I think couldn't get a proper version of it, I don't think. But got Monza coming up, Suzuka later on in the series, and some other great ones. And yeah, it's the chance for the championship now. First half's done. Roll on the second part of the season. I can't wait. Bonnehui's obviously favourite, I think, but we'll see if Morgan Moran can come back and what impact Calames and Pushka can have, and the GT Omega boys and Twister and what have you. But yeah, bring on the second half of the season, I say.
Absolutely, and we are going to look forward to that second half of the season. It's a month's time now. We got a bit of a wait. It will be the weekend of the 3rd and 4th of August. Will be World Series, World Trophy, and World Championship. But for myself, Nick Rowland, Mr. Scott Woodwiss next to me, Jaakko Mikkonen on cameras, and also thanks to Mikko Pumalainen, the race director. We will see you in 4 weeks' time.
Bye-bye.